Good evening, one and all. It's Sunday, it's the end of the week, and that of course means it's time for us to jump into some more good old Warframe. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you're doing well today, where you are around the world. Oh yes, indeed. We're back on Warframe, and it is time to be cracking on with a little bit of a prime grind. I've been putting off a bit, I'll be honest with you. I've been off just a little bit. But we are good to be going. I hope everyone's doing well, though. Have you had yourselves a good weekend? I have had a very good weekend myself, including having just had some pancakes. That is nice. I do love some pancakes. But welcome, everyone. What you fishing for? So today, the plan, as it says in the stream title, is to get hold of the Akarius Prime and Acceltra Prime. And I have a little bit of progress in that direction as well so far. Let's have a look at where we're at. Let's have a look. So if we go Akarius, okay, that's a concerning sight to see. If we have a look here, so the Akarius, I have the Prime Link and I have one of two Prime receivers, but I have yet to get the blueprint or the barrels. So that's going to be a little bit of a work. And then for the Acceltra, apparently got a couple radiants in its direction. That is absolutely fine with me. Which one of these is the bloody blueprint in it? There it is. So for the Acceltra, I have the blueprint, actually. Just the blueprint. But still, I have a couple pieces along the way, which means we're already that much closer to making this happen. But, before Zom jumps the queue there, that's actually slightly jumping the queue, or attempting to. Because I hadn't gone for that yet. Come on now, tisk. A little bit too quick, because as I was getting everything ready for the stream, I noticed I haven't actually done the Archon Hunt yet this week. Yeah, that time's out soon. That time's out in 5 hours. I would very much like to have my next Crimson Shard Plus. If it might even be Town Forged, all the better. So, yeah, can't leave that one sitting there. And I'm hoping to goodness I've already done the Carl mission, but something tells me I probably skipped that as well. Given that I got 4 shards from the Netracells, to turn this into a 6 shard week would be very nice. So, yeah, that's going to be what's first. If you would like to join me in this mission, go through the Archon Hunt. If you have also accidentally gone, oops, I need to sort that, or if you just want to join it for the fun of it, send me a message in game, the Kengineer. I'll bring you into the squad and we will smash through them. Salmon Rage, care for a sit? Come on in. We have got Saltmere, come on in. So can I ask something? Molt Reconstruct, can it heal my Kavat too? I don't actually know on that one, sorry. I have not tested it on Kavats. I simply just don't know. And I'll be quite honest with you. That one might be a little annoying to test accurately, but yeah. Umbrella, come on in. There we are. That fills up the squad. Zom's 1 influence off max rank. Nice. You'll have it in no time. I see, Bill Nye. I see. Alright then, going up against the Sentients, I could go full in Prime. Or we can just absolutely eviscerate them by stepping up to Burston. And if we're doing that, let's bring the Dual Toxis as well, why not? Let's just overload the area with Doom. I've got the Praetus as a backup if needs be. So replacing Baruch's Red Shards of Vital ones? Nice. That will certainly enhance your critical damage on your melee there, yeah. Alright, mobile defense. Let's get this cracking, shall we? Let's get these Archon Shards, get that out of the way, and then get those Prime weapons. The Shards are slightly more important than the Primes, though. What's my opinion on Lith Relic grinding? I'm not sure which opinion you're asking for there. Like, Lith Relic grinding is an entire topic. What opinion are you looking for there? What part of Lith Relic grinding? Alright, let's get in here. What? Go straight through that. I am Lavos, I do not care. Oop. Just get the angle there, and we're good. Alright, let's start evaporating everything. I was just trying to use abilities for as long as I could there, but I think the timer's kind of stacked against me in the end. And one more for one more. Nope, come on, one more headshot. There it is. Particle velocity is so good. Oh yeah, particle velocity is real nice to have. The absolute speed with which you can move around with proper particle velocity. Oh, it's nice. I mean, I'm a big proponent of arcane consequence. Certainly if you are at the stage where you can't afford the really shiny arcanes, or if you just don't have a need for other shiny arcanes, arcane consequence is a brilliant quality of life tool. And in fact it's an efficiency tool as well for missions where you need to navigate. Where you need to go from A to B quickly. Because it really ramps up how quickly is. Hello Cosmo, how you doing?
Area completed. Move on.
This done, let's go. So yeah, we'll crack through this Archon Hunt and then get ourselves the relics opened up as well. Also enhances abilities such as Mirage's Prism Guard. That is true, yeah. Things which are dictated by how much of the map you can physically cover are also improved by particle velocity, very true. Hildren, because of its pillage being an aura based on you, that also is affected. Because the more area you can uncover within the radius, the more enemies are affected in time, and therefore the more effect you get from the ability. All kinds of bits and pieces like that, absolutely. There we go, that's nicely charged. You frequently beat him with Wukongs and Gauss and Revenant with particle shards? Yep, that'll do it. So I can navigate extremely quickly as Lavos. I've gotten so used to the tiles and so used to the movement setup I have on Lavos. Yeah, I can do similar. If someone is actively trying to beat me, and they're running something like a Wukong or Gauss, then they will win. Because those are faster frames, if you use them for speed. But if you are not actively trying to get around, as hard as I'm trying, then you may fail. Such is the nature of things. Okay, General Sun, let's just reading off some details about mission drops, sure. Okay. I'm not sure I quite follow why we're bringing that up, but sure. I'm just going to spam out occasional abilities here. I mean, hell, the ability hit that guy for 197,000 damage, so something's working. Probably helped out by the raw buff. $20 more seconds. Thoughts on Sickening Pulse, Archon, Lavos? Okay, those are two different things. Sickening Pulse is a subsumed ability. Archon, I assume you're referring to the Archon mods on Lavos. And there's a whole bunch of combinations of bits and pieces there. Archon Continuity. If you're running any duration with Continuity, you might as well use Archon Continuity, get the extra effect. It's not really a decision, it's just, would you put Continuity in a build? Archon Continuity. If not, then don't. Archon Vitality, that's a trade-off between the Umbral set. So you're going for less health, less tank overall. In trade-off, you get to put out more damage from your heat procs by doubling up the heat proc. Or applying an extra heat proc, I should say, not doubling. It applies an extra when you hit with heat proc on the abilities. Depends on how you're looking to use your levels there. Archon Flow, obviously no. Archon Stretch, also no, because that's energy based, so those two are just out. And what was it? Archon Intensify. Archon Intensify, if you're not using the overall set, can potentially give you a higher strength bonus over Umbral Intensify, but you could just put in Umbral Intensify and have a constant 44% bonus. So it's really about the use case. What are you building for? Each of the mods are independent. They're not a set. They don't go together as a set. They all have what appears to be a set name, but they aren't a set.
This facility is a communications crossroad for Narmer.
And then when it comes to Sickening Pools, it's an ability. Are you building for said ability? Are you going to be using that ability? If so, okay, yeah, sure, you can make it work. Just like you can make it work on pretty much anything that puts out damaging status effects. Now, I really dislike it when they do this spinny thingy, because the head is so difficult to hit already. Yeah, if you find yourself trying to figure out, is it a good build or not, well, it depends on what build you're making. Entirely. Hey mate, sit still please. Ah, bells. It's so hard to get charged when they just instantly die to the first tap to the head. There we go. Joel says, I don't like the options for lithoratic grinding. Okay. If you were aware of the options and you don't like them, then fair enough. There's not really a lot I can say to that. It depends partially on how you're playing, because speedrunning captures in the Void, on Void Hepit, that's actually a very, very, very fast lithoratic output. Like, exceptionally fast. You can get up to... I'd genuinely say up to 60 lithinia per hour if you are absolutely slamming that mission home. Load time's going to be a big factor there for a lot of people. But the real good news is that you don't have to farm Lith Relics. If you don't want to farm any relic in particular for a specific item, you could just crack the relics you have and then trade those items with people for platinum. Trade that platinum to get the item you do want. Bada bing, bada boom, not only do you get the item you're looking for, you also make multiple people happy, because the people who want the items you have are happy, and the people that want the platinum you get from trading those are happy. So it's a real positive effect if you do it that way. Not about asking, is the dual ichor map nuke intended behavior? I am not exactly familiar with that nuke. I've not got the dual ichor set up to try out that exact process, so I'm not familiar enough with it to say if it's intended or not, or even likely to be kept in. What I can say is that unless DE tell you something is intended, the actual answer is no one really knows. That's how we find out if something is intended. DE tell you. An example of DE telling you would be writing on a mod. Gives you plus 100% energy. Yes, it giving you plus energy is intended. That was a very weird animation from that guy. Shower influence? Again, I'm not clued in, so if you just start naming bits, I'm not going to pick up the entire build setup. People have been saying things about dual ichors and Sarin and influence, and yet I can't piece together everything from all of that lot, because people say random things all the time to me, and some of them are incorrect, quite frankly. So I just chalk it up to people say shit all the time. Come on, there are people that try and tell me that Labos is terrible at the game. These people also sometimes happen to be well-established content creators, so really who knows anything. No one says it's not intended? Okay then. I again, have no information on the topic. Just gonna say, it's a matter of layering. The effects of Ichor's clouds counting as melee strikes doesn't make sense.
And upon his tongue, the Zariman flame.
Sure. Oh, I should be over here, neutralizing this one. Whoopsies. What shards do you recommend for Lavos? Heard Emerald, Corrosive, Arcane Continuity. Shards are new to me. Haven't played since Alex Spear. Okay, cool. In Lavos, I run a single shard Tau Forge for parkour velocity. I feel like it's just a nice quality of life to add to his general mobility. You can see how far a bullet jump I can get. It's not a huge increase, but that one shard just gives you that extra little bit of mobility. And you notice it. You really do. Is this Reddit Farmer sorted? No, this is doing the Archon Hunt real quickly, because I realised, whoops, hadn't done that yet. On top of that then, I currently have a Tau Forged Emerald, but 2 normal emeralds may well be better. It takes up an extra slot, but it gives you total armor strip. I would have that in, except for the fact that I had to finagle a bunch of shards, and I just didn't want to spend the resources right now, because where I'm at in terms of demonstrating things. Where is the headshot? There it is. Outside of those, you can also get the casting speed, Archon Shard, that's real nice to have. Gives you that slightly snappier cast on your, certainly your 4th ability, which is kind of a big deal. I will ask people for requests to join when it's time, I'm Cake. There are no pre-queues. But yeah, when it comes to Archon Shards, my honest recommendation is to go watch my guides on the individual Archon Shards and piece together then, okay, what works for your build. If you are running Natural Talent on your build, you will not need to have Casting Speed Archon Shards. If you are running all of the armor in the world, you will not need Armor Shards. If you are never using the Corrosive options on your Warframe, you will not want the Emerald Shards. Bits and pieces like that. At the end of the day, I can't give you a one-size-fits-all build, because Warframe, believe it or not, have managed to improve the game to the point that one-size-fits-all builds don't really work out like that. Or at least it's not one-size-only fits all. You've got choices. Explore your choices. And failing that, just follow the guides I've already made for you on YouTube. Hello Raptor, I've had a good Sunday. I have had a good Sunday. Thank you for asking. I hope you've had a good one yourself as well. Can this Inception be over already? It's like some just really drawn out, not quite survival. Filled with the disappointment of trying to hit headshots on weird enemies. Which jolt to the side randomly. Lovely, lovely damage numbers. Please, take more of my screen. And I think with that we are done. Oh, hello. We're done. Is there a way to make a companion viral primer? So you've got the Panzervault Profiler that just shits out viral. You can also use viral on your companion weaponry. So yes, multiple ways. Take your pick.
You're scared to face the possibility that I'm right.
Hello Mythic, how you doing? Manifold Bond? Yeah. Now Manifold. The names and the functions do not stick in my head too well. Manifold. What is Zom actually suggesting there? Companion precepts. Yeah. Yeah, Manifold Bond can also help spread viral if you've got damaging precepts on them. Just that. You need a damaging preset for that to trigger. And this is why naming things needs context for people who are asking for advice in general. So I'm getting at. How about a gamble for the assassination? Sure, let's get a prediction running. Let's get a prediction running. There we are, 1 minute prediction. Will the shard be Talforged? Make your prediction, chat. Will the shard be Talforged? Yes or no? Use those lovely blue spanners in the chat there to make your prediction. Stop flailing. Yeah. The fact this kills them so quickly on the headshots makes it really, really frustrating to get the charge sometimes. The gun is too good that it actually becomes less good. It's especially painful with burst weapons, where the charge seems to be based on the idea that you hit the whole burst on the head. But when the first bullet instantly kills, at this level, even at this level, you're like, well, okay, guess I'm not going to be gaining that much charge, am I? Just slightly painful. Alright, we get in here and get some final charge. That'll have to do.
He will close the distance shockingly fast.
I can't see through the freaking damage numbers again.
Look for the one that is armed.
Just do that whilst... Beat the summons. Where are the summons? Those ones. Don't know why the marker is behind him. There we are.
Fazul has barred the way to us heathens, but stolen deacon veils should allow you to deceive the barrier.
Let's navigate our way through here. Alright. You like the big red numbers? Yeah, I like being able to see where I'm sending those big red numbers to, because otherwise I stop having the big red numbers to do. And that doesn't work for me. Believe it or not, like, if I can't see the thing to hit to the point that I stop hitting it, certainly I stop hitting the headshot, which this game is trying to gear me towards, kinda sucks. So that's why I turn them off. Do you think D should add Seal Path for Archon Hunts? What do you mean? Archon Hunt is already high level with enhanced features for the enemies. Why would we Steel Path that? Not everything needs a Steel Path modifier. This is sounding a little bit like the people on Reddit asking for a Platinum Path, which is level 500 up rather than level 100 up. Like, just play the game as it is. It's a power fantasy. If you feel too good... Oh shit, that is not the way forwards. If you feel too good, take some mods off your build. Try something other than your Ultra Killer 9000. Where is this waypoint fucking going?
And now what is left of him is puppeted by the ram. I will not say he deserved better.
Oh.
But I grieve for who he could have been.
Okay. Is it? It's this way. That was the weirdest one I've seen in a while. What the hell? Up a marker as I move. Okay. This is getting really annoying, DE. How do your waypoints keep breaking? This is... Oh, come on! What is this? I need to just guess my way through. Okay, look. Let's look at the map. Okay. This tunnel is pointing mostly in the direction. There is loot this way. This connector. Fuck you. Okay, then... Up this way, maybe? Doesn't feel like it's the way, but it's the way. It's the way. Yeah, this is the way. Then it extends down here. Then we go around here. That is so stupid. This waypoint is the dumbest waypoint I've had in a very long time. Alright. Hopefully this waypoint one will navigate a bit better for people. Wow, that's wild. This is why the waypoint system is meant to be tile to tile. Some reason I keep getting white hits. I mean, Carnage Dread has over 200% crit chance. How? O'Keefe, without seeing what's going on, no idea exactly. However, it may be something to do with... Okay, what's going on here? That was weird. It may be something to do with you actually seeing your slash procs or something. This has been a really scuffed fight. What the hell?
Now, he is a mere trophy. Good job.
Yeah. Floors no reset volume. Weird. What do you think about the one-shot Archon mechanic with Colossus, and if you find this useful and effective? Doesn't matter these days. The one-shot mattered when everything else was an absolute slog, where it was seriously poorly tuned. But if you got something that is able to one-shot, sure, why not? Go for it. We can kill in seconds. We spend more time figure out what's gone wrong with the waypoint. And that's even assuming that it works, as advertised. Did we get Tap Forged? We did not. Those of you who gambled on no, you are correct. Those of you who gambled on yes, well. Normal Crimson, and an NASA Sculpture. Thanks, game. Thank you very much, game. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is where I'm currently at. So these shards are the ones that really matter on Lavos, and this one is just because I like having over 2,000 armor. It's just nice to hit that pointless threshold. Yes. It should have taken us 3 minutes to because of waypoint. I don't think it added that much time onto it, but it did add a little bit more. Just a little bit. Okay. Time to get hunting for... Let's start with the Akarius. As much as I don't have the Lith relic to get a hold of this, we can... Let's see, I've already got that one, so I don't actually need to run any more of the lifts, so it's just these. Let's go open the Axie D5. Let's get the blueprint, Axie D5. That one should take us no time at all. Those of you in the squad at the moment, Cephalon Rage, Saltamir, Umbrella, you're welcome to stick around if you have the relic to hand, or otherwise an Acceltra relic, either of those are fine. Fair enough then, Umbrella's dropping out, so if someone has a Akarius or Acceltra relic, and would like to join in, send me a message in game, the Kengineer, I'll bring you on into the squad. Zom taking one of those spots, there we go. Something saying, good news, have all rather fixed plenty of traces. Ah, nice. Very, very nice. That's fine. We've got one more space available. Anyone with Akarius or Acceltra relics that would like to join us. We're going to do Axie first. We're not going to do Normal Steel Path unless really, really needed, because it's just honestly a waste of time. Wow! Okay, maybe we are doing Steel Path. Defense, Survival, Interception. You know what? Steel Path is... Rescue. That's much better. Rescue, yes. We're doing Steel Path after all. That one is just much better. You got most of the relics for the Axie evade you? There should be a couple of Axies available. 1 minute on it? Oh. Alright, well, I'm not waiting for people any longer. Let's go. Doesn't take that long to send a message in game. We'll just run as is. Not going to have it a public squad just so we move quickly. If you still want to join in, you're still welcome to send the message. It's just you may not make it for this first mission. I feel like I'm just shepherding in two little baby ships along the way here. Yo! No sympathy! Raiding on in here. Moderators, whoever's live, can we get a shout out for no sympathy here? Another legendary creator here in good old Blighty. How you doing, my dude? Welcome on in. Hope you've had yourself a wonderful stream, and thanks for dropping your community on over here. We are in the midst of cracking open some relics for the Akarius and Acceltra. Solving that practical problem today. Hope you had yourself a wonderful weekend, my dude. Yo!
Ooh, I guess.
I guess? Sorry, what does that even mean? Also, I need to be collecting reactant. I'm dumb. Hold on. Reactant type. But Darth and Washbear, thank you very much for resubscribing there at 7 months. Welcome into the channel once again there. Continuing that beautiful golden badge next to you. I do appreciate that. As if you're saying, leaving these cretins with you, dude. Cretins? Oh dear. Chat, what have you been up to today? What have you done to deserve that? Cretins. Oh dear. Oh dear. Need to get some food before I do. How have you been, my guy? I've honestly been very well, my dude. Very well indeed. Thank you very much for asking. Things are going pretty swimmingly at the moment, including with various not-so-secret projects. And yeah, for those of you raiding on over at the moment, as Salancy is pointing out there, make sure you also grab yourself a ticket for today's raffle. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win that. No sympathy, if you wanted to grab a ticket for that as well, you're more than welcome to, but if you don't, I fully understand. You and I might not particularly need those platinum raffles, considering how much we play this game. Thanks, dude. I hope you're doing well yourself. Hope things are going exactly the way you want them to. In fact, I think I saw things were absolutely shining over on your YouTube channel recently as well, by the way. It might have been a hot minute since I checked, but I doubt things have gone down after that. You've been doing brilliantly. I will ticket, but if I win, then you have to double the prize. You know, for that, I might just take your name out the hat. Ask for a double prize. Honestly, yeah. Give someone an inch, they take a mile. Or at least in this case, 2 inches. Alright, we've got the reactant, we have got the hostage, we've got the ability to ram ourselves into a doorway. Let's get out of here. Those awkward angles on this tile are not very Lavos friendly. Alright, you have yourself a good one, my dude. Hey, look at that, Akarius Prime Barrel. Nice. Alright, we'll go through this in a moment. Looks like Darth Washbear was the first to message us. We'll bring in Darth Washbear for the next mission.
What you have learned here will serve you.
I have to do that when we actually get out. Akarius piece obtained. Very nice. When those sticky corners? Well, that's the thing. Those weren't sticky corners, were they? They were just ledges. Like, the doorways have ridges around them, which, I mean, you can't solve that. Well, they could, but I don't think they're gonna. Grillo with a Glock. Been messing with Tennokai and Baruch. I'm curious what your opinion would be for the ideal Tennokai mod. Ruled out opportunities reach between Dreamer's Wrath, Master's Edge. Do you have thoughts? I, in general, actually go for Discipline's Merit, just so I can get the tempo of knowing when I'm going to get those hits in. Because a little bit of crit damage, hello Archon Shards, or a little bit of pure melee damage, hello literally all the ways you can do that, is nothing compared to a consistent high frequency Tennokai. And yeah, you can currently stat stick the every 4 attacks down to every 2, which makes it equivalent of 50%, although in practice even more likely to trigger than that. Because if you do 3 attacks before hitting your Tennokai, you're technically 1 attack ahead already on the next Tennokai. It's kind of wild. It is kind of wild. Alright, Darth Washbear, join the squad. Never mind then, you're offline. Join the squad. Pocket Demon H. There we are. I don't know if that is going to get fixed in particular, but otherwise there. Reinvite? Okie dokie. Accidentally hit the decline. I've been there. I've been there. Axifisher is now just a defense. Ew. So let's drop that down. What we got over here now? Any changes? Look, they're all still terrible as well. Okay then. You know what? We're going to bloody Hydron. Of all the places, we're going to Hydron, baby. Railjack? Nah. Nah. If I was doing this off stream, I would probably turn off crossplay and then do Railjack. Consider it as an option. The problem with Railjack is if one person's got a shit loading time, everyone's got a shit loading time. Oh, it is hell on the loading there. And quite frankly, I don't want a stream of us going, great, yep, everything's breaking again. Plus the reactant issues that pop up from time to time there. It's... Railjack has the capacity to be so great, but it's got hurdles, it's got sticking blocks, and I don't mean physical sticky blocks, but sticking points that just get in the way. And I just can't be dealing with that. I just can't. It hurts too much. And I come to this game to play it to enjoy it, not to be hurt by basically bugs. That is just bugs. Not what I'm here for. Okay, I think someone is hard nuking, or do we not have many enemies? Actually, we don't seem to have many enemies. No, that is Mirage doing Mirage things. Okay, make sure you don't overkill them, please. We do need a reactant. Just fair heads up is all. I should have switched over to a different weapon. One that doesn't require charging. I don't need an Incarnate for this. Yeah, old gen consoles are the problem, but the thing is you can't filter out old gen consoles. You can't say, oh, don't pair me up with someone who literally cannot load things in a reasonable amount of time. And as much as I would quietly like to extend that same requirement to this stream here, that means telling a whole bunch of people, sorry, you're not good enough to play with the Engineer. I mean, people start to get a little bit upset at that. I wonder why. You know, I wonder why some people feel disadvantaged by that. And true, yeah, PC doesn't entirely avoid it either, yeah. Zom is playing Warframe on an actual potato. Actually, that's insulting potatoes. Warframe is running on just a broken rock that happens to be called Zom's PC. 8 gigs of RAM? I'm surprised you actually have 8. With the way your computer operates, you might want to double check to see if those 8 gig sticks are actually a 4 gig stick and a stick that is claiming to be RAM, but it isn't doing anything. Like, it might not actually be plugged in. Yeah. Railjack is especially vulnerable to other people having either shitty connections or shitty hardware, and it just doesn't make for a fun experience. Whereas running normal Railjack, where you can be solo, that's fine. Steam Deck doubles your laptop's RAM? Oh dear. Alright. Right, cracked. We can nuke again. We can just hit everything as hard as physically possible again. I realise that my 4 is on cooldown. Whoops. We're waiting for... Oh, God, we're waiting for that. Burning up time here, come on. Alright, let everything get a little bit closer. They die to Mirage, never mind, I'm just going to send it. That worked. That Lavos nuke works. Unprimed enemies don't die so easily normally. But, wait, well, on Steel Path anyway. On these levels, That spot right there. Right here. This covers almost the entirety of Hydron. So you just let the enemies kind of bundle together, tap the 4, pops them all. It's beautiful. And of course works on Helene too. Yeah, I'm just going to pop that now. Don't need to wait for them to bundle together. Mirage is not giving the opportunity. Send out that nuke. Wipe out the nearby stuff. For some spawn news. I don't think this is going to come off cooldown in time, but I'm going to just stand here anyway. Actually, no, I didn't. Didn't come off cooldown in time. We're too efficient. Less than 30 seconds to take out that. I don't even need the loot that I'm picking up. Just gonna go around, grabbing it, because I can. Well, let's see. Hey, Akarius Prime Barrel. Awesome. I know I could grab these silvers, but I want the Akarius piece. I'll see if I have an Acceltra relic. Oh, I can't check the relics first. Okay, we'll dip out, and then if we need an Axie, then I'll grab it. We'll check. Why am I getting an in-game message again? Alright, Cake. I've made this clear. I will ask when it is time for people to join. You must be watching the stream. That's twice you've done that. Come on, my dude. I'm not usually just looking at random DMs or people asking to join when I'm not asking for people to join. Please wait. Alright then, oops. Acceltra. There is an Axie. Do I need it? Yep. Alright, off we go. In the past, it was in-game invite. I do send out in-game invites, Cake. I don't think you're hearing me. So let me put this very clearly to avoid any confusion, whether it be language barrier or just not paying attention barrier. When there is an open space, I will say, hey chat, if you would like to join me, send me a message in game. Now, if you are responding to that 20 minutes later, you fucked up. Pure and simple. I will say when it is time. Otherwise, I prefer people to not randomly DM in game, because I have a Twitch chat. That is where I read the messages from people who need to speak to me on a live stream. Got it? Excellent. Splendid. We'll move on then. Alright then, I've got enough traces to upgrade this one. Let's get it cracking. One of the best potato dishes of all time, mashed potatoes. That's alright, but like, you know, cheese and potato pie. Is Warframe Market down for anyone else? Let's have a quick look whilst we load in. Warframe Market. Loading. 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 Well, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good.
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
Alright, let's pop this. So yeah, oh, I didn't switch weapons. Fuck it. This doesn't need charging. And I'm level, so I can get ammo back for it. You guys kind of like, you know, become corrupted. There we are. And they're dead. Corruption, 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 corruption. Ah, sod it, nuke 'em. Get nuked. And there's one just sat over here for some reason, being a lemon. There we are. Is it overloaded due to Barrow? I would imagine so. No. I mean, Barrow's gone. So yeah, they might just be having issues with their service provider. These things happen. And the problem is that when a website... Well done, Tom. You can buy cheaply from others for the moment, I guess. When a website starts to struggle, certainly with an active user base, you then get a whole bunch of people constantly hitting refresh trying to load it. This puts even more strain on it and can lead to a cascade of issues. So if it is a user overload issue, it just adds to the issues. Anything to do with what users are trying to do on it adds to the overload. So if you're having issues with Warframe Market, my genuine recommendation is to just sit back, relax, do something else for a bit. You've reached your standing cap with Warframe Market. Go level something else and wait for the reset. I'm gonna nuke. We're getting enough reactant, it's safe to nuke. Oh, it's beautiful. Takes a moment, and then you just watch pretty much everything evaporate off the radar. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. You know what? Another one charged. Do it. Send it. Naturally, an unprimed 4 doesn't get through Xmas units. That's to be expected. You need to prime them with some more status for that to be effective. Hello, Atari. How you doing? Good evening to you as well. Ooh, more strength, more range. For me, for Lavos. Don't mind if I do. Bap. Well, that did the trick. Again, just watching the entire minimap vanish. I'm gonna hold off on trying to use it. I can pop this here. Get a little bit of cooldown reduction. 10 seconds on the next fire. Nearly, nearly. Send it! I think everything was dead at the time that I sent it. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. So I'll just do that. And that's round complete. Alright, let's see. Do we get the rare Acceltra part? Fingers crossed. Rare Acceltra part. What we got? Not to worry, Atari. If you've had a busy week, that's perfectly fine to be just a little bit later to stream. It's not like you're required to be here. The only person required to be here... Oh, look at that. The only person required to be here is me. So, if you manage to get here at a time that's suitable for you, that's all good. Hope you're doing well. Well, you are doing well. So, I'm glad to hear that. Alright then, that's the Acceltra piece, so we can leave here once again. Very, very nice. There we are. Are all of Lavos' cooldowns long enough? You can spam them in here, so without making Samaris mad. Technically yes, but actually no. Because you see, you can reduce the cooldowns, and therefore you can cast them more quickly than normal cooldowns. And that has the capacity to piss off Samaris. But even better, Samaris locks out your abilities by applying a cooldown to them. Lavos can reduce cooldowns. All ability timer cooldowns. So when Samaris does that, it's actually no different to using the ability as normal. You just reduce the cooldown or wait it out. So yeah, it's only his 4 that will really trigger it, because you need to cast it, cool it down, cast it. But then you're on cooldown anyway. The Samaris cooldown doesn't add to it, it's just there. So you just cool it down again. Yeah. Lavos also beats Samaris. Right, saying, Ken, do you think the whole passive energy regen disables channeling abilities mechanic is outdated, or is there a reason to keep it around? I don't really have an opinion on that, to be honest, Ray. I don't have an opinion on it. There may be mechanical reasons why D have not included it, like, sorry, not change that. It might be that there's something funky with the code that requires that they don't interact. It could be they consider it just a general balancing metric, that there are any channeled abilities, they don't want them to be completely set and forget. Hard to say. But I don't really have an opinion on it. Yeah. Gloom would be even stronger? It would be. Every drain ability would be, by extension, stronger. Yeah, sure. Or at least more convenient. Okay, Akarius. So, I've got 2 of those, which is all I need there. I need to get the blueprint. Neo A11. Let's do that. Neos. What we got on the Neo? Does Gloom let you regen? No, I thought Gloom only let you regen the energy if it's not actively draining at that point in time. So it's unique in that it counts as a toggle. It counts as a a toggle drain only whilst it's actively draining. It's a very special feature. Okay, let's see. Neo, we've got defense, interception. What are these today? Ew. What do we got on the steel path? Neo, crossfire. What crossfire? Don't do this to me. Alright, crossfire, exterminate. That sounds good. That sounds real good. And this one should be upgraded. I don't have the resources to upgrade it, so I'm just going to equip it. I got 11 of them. There we are. What is this thing called as Trummer, and how do I get it? Trummer is a weapon. You get it by... I think it's from the Intrati on Deimos. Your best bet, though, for singular weapons like that is to check the wiki. The wiki will give you the full details on what weapon it is, how it fires, what kind of features it has, where to get it, what the build requirements are, how long it takes to build, all of that in one. I recommend checking that out.
Your enemies have grown fierce. Use all
That was unfortunate. I got that turn slightly wrong. Oh. Wow, there was a bunch of reactants that spawned there. But past it because I didn't think it would count. Or give more. And that is the reactant already obtained. Beautiful. 39 enemies killed. Reactant obtained. That's actually really quick. Where are you at? Just under? There you are. What am I shooting? Oh, it was a burster. I didn't even realise that. Can I see where more enemies are, please? Oh, they're up that way. You dislike Akarius? Fair enough. It's still the best mission we have available to us for cracking at the moment.
To extraction.
Alright, job done here. Let's head our way out. Navigation this way? This way. There we are. Beautiful stuff. I mean, Legally Blind, if you're at the point where you can get Archon Charge, you really should be at the point where you'll be able to get the Helmet segment. It's honestly not that long to get. No. Okay, fair enough. We didn't get the thing this time. I'll grab the Larkspur piece, why not? Oh yeah, Gorilla, yeah. Yeah, the waves on Baruch don't count for Tennokai. As in, they don't trigger the counter for it. Yeah. It's the same as it doesn't generate combo. Only the direct punches generate the combo. You don't get combo from the wind waves, do you? The Brook is one of those frames which, honestly, I would love to use the sheer power that he has. But he just doesn't have any convenience to him for me. He feels like an exceptionally inconvenient Warframe to play. If the enemy density is too low, I'm just told I'm not allowed to use one of his abilities anywhere near as much as I'd like to. The wind waves don't count for generation of combo. He's got weird interactions with not having a stat stick but kind of using your gladiator set and weirdy schmiddy stuff. It's like... he's so full of just oddities that get in the way of having fun with him. Does Brook get the extra damage from combo if it's initial combo like Corrupt Charge or Ceramic Dagger? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I'll be quite honest with you. I just don't enjoy working with Brook's kit whatsoever. It's just not a fun experience for me. So the minutiae of how it works also evades me at this point in time, as I don't want to look into it, quite frankly. He may well be one of the very last frames I produce a guide on, just because he is that annoying to me. Alright, we are once again already at the reactor needed, so that is lovely.
I'm still detecting a lot of infestation activity. Let's clean it
This tile is a pain to navigate. There's no getting around that, it's just a pain to navigate. Oh, hey there! Put up to Juggernaut. That is the wrong thing. I wanted this. Don't know how much of that is applying to it, but it's there. You know, honestly, shooting that is a waste of time. I'm gonna move on. It actually doesn't help to try fight the Juggernaut. Bit rate going nuts? Yeah. Particle effects everywhere. Welcome to gaming modern era. Particle effects. Are you even having fun if you don't fill your screen with particle effects? You wanted to see the game? No, more particles. Particles mean something is good, right? Tanokai is just made of particle effects, good god. It launches a whole wave of them.
And so we learn the importance of clarity and purpose.
Is it even a real game if you ride so bleed playing it? Exactly, yeah. It's wild. Spore Laser sends out little bomblets and whatnot. It does make a mess, but a particle is those point lights. Just point lights everywhere. A shower of them. Kind of crazy just how much there are. I was meaning to switch weaponry, so let's do this now. Yes, I did just grab the Spore Laser. Now, I hope that I'm not seeing people arguing over one Warframe being better than another. Because The problem with discussing who's better than another is that it's got no parameters as that discussion point. No parameters at all.
These are
Tankier?
foes.
Well, if tankier, yeah, Revenant is definitely tankier than Rhino. There is no two roads about it. Revenant has infinite damage block. Rhino has a limited amount of damage block. He can scale it up based on incoming damage, but it is still limited. It is one-shottable. Revenant, you have a guarantee to it. At the level with tank matters, Revenant tanks better.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out.
That's not even a question. No discussion to it. It's just a fact.
Infestation activity. Let's clean it up.
You can't beat straight up immortality. There's absorption period. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it scales up. So you get that 3 seconds of scaling where it absorbs incoming damage and turns that into its defense on Rhino. Which you then also have to position yourself for, adding to the difficulty of it being so effective for you. Whereas Revenant can just block the damage entirely. Their passives? No one's discussing their passives. Warframes are not balanced around their passives.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
You might as well bring up Wisp's passive interaction with the Foreman at that point. Don't remember there being electricity there. Come on, where's my exit? Over this way. The Ares tile set is an obnoxious one to navigate. It truly is. Like, it captures the vibe brilliantly of being so absolutely disgusting. Hey, look at that. But it is a nightmare to navigate. You use Iron Skin as a long shield gate. Fair enough. But there we go. Wonderful on the Akarius there. I think that leaves me just one piece needed on it. Just one piece. Alright then, so let's triple check where we're at on that. Akarius. Yeah. Just need one prime receiver now. Beautiful. And that's this. Done. We'll come back to that one. Acceltra. Where am I at with the Acceltra bits and pieces now? So, Acceltra, blueprint obtained, stock obtained, so it's the prime receiver, prime barrel. Okay then. Acceltra prime barrel available there from the Miso A5, of which I do have Radiant. Excellent, let's do some Miso. Hopefully there is some good Miso action we can get into. If we go for a lower tier 1, it's also quicker missions. Spy or defense? You know what, Spy's honestly not too bad. Because we're a coordinated squad, we'll stick together, get the reactant, and then go crack the vaults super quick. This is fine. This should be absolutely fine. I say miso like Japanese soup? Yeah, fair enough. Like the Mesozoic era, which I believe is where it's deriving its name from. Miso. There are some that say Meso. They are incorrect. Or just not British, but mostly incorrect.
Your mission mission
Those people are probably naming it similar to Mesa, which is different. Welcome to English. Alright. Oh! There is a drop down here? Huh. The more you know. Alright, let's skip up all this lovely reactant. If more enemies would like to get corrupted in a local area, that'd be great. I'm gonna go crack A. Because this needs cracking. We are beginning to move away from it. I hear the corrupted there. I'm going to ignore them. So they all bundle together nicely. Someone's already in A. Okay. I think I'm picking up why spawns were beginning to spread then. Where did all the domestic drones go? Squabbo! You're not honestly asking about my orbiter's domestic drones, are you? Are you? Because that is an ancient question, if so. Like, in internet time, that makes you prehistoric.
the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
I've got all the reactants I require, so I can go straight for the vault. That alarm is thankfully not an alarm in here, so I can just go in, grab that, pop it, done. If I'm levels in the circuit, he is a grid frame. Although I do find that the circuit is kind of geared a little against him because of the level scaling as you stick around for too long. None of this is what we wanted, but a Foreman Prime blueprint. Alright. Feels like only yesterday since drones have been gone. Yeah, they were a while ago, a long while ago. They were lagging out of the stream, unfortunately. They were having a little too much of a negative effect. Hey, look at that, an Avara chassis. And people complain it's so hard to farm her. In fact, weirdly enough, that is an Avara chassis, but no Harrow chassis. Now that is weird. That is very, very weird. Alright, Bode, Spy, Acceltra, upgrade it this time, and off we pop. Fair do, Brian, fair do. You can literally get Blood Rush with the circuit for 335 platinum. I mean, one, it needs to appear in it, two, you need to actually do the circuit for it. Wouldn't call that free. But sure, sure. What's my Harrow chassis collection up to? Good question. $1,142. 1,142 Harrow chassis at the moment. Just a couple.
Your mission is to break into enemy data vaults and steal any intelligence files you find.
Wait for it. Now. Almost needless, but yeah. Just a few? Yeah, only a little. Hey, do you want to be corrupted? No? Come on, you know you want to be corrupted. Go on. Fuckers. We'll just go over here. All the reactants over this side anyway. It's where all the cool kids are hanging out. Pop ourselves into the next room, send out a nuke. Beautiful. There we are, got everything we need. Let's crack some of these open.
Open the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Got it. Yeah, I'm just ciphering them. Just trying to do it all nice and quick. Oh, that's a really unfortunate nullifier. Solomon's got that. I don't need to step in there. How have I got myself into this predicament? Cool, B is complete, just needing C. Oh, C is occupied. Really sneaks up on you. Uh-oh. Well, they see me. Oh, you've done this the slow way. Okay. I was wondering why it took a while. So, for anyone curious about the not slow way to do this one, by the way, rather than activating the lift and then coming back up and around and using the lift, go through either left or right side, doesn't matter, ignore the laser barrier, drop into here, navigate through the little lasers that'll be there, and you'll be right at the console. Simple as that. And then to exit, the lift will be there, so you just take it up. So yeah, there is a very fast way of doing that one. I'm stuck on that edge again. Oh, looking forward to that going away. Here we go. Hey! Acceltra Prime Barrel. Lovely jubbly. Nice. You lagging? Alright. Just curious, do you cipher the Sanctum console? Sanctum. When you say Sanctum, do you mean the Albrecht Labs? The 90s pewters? In which case, yes, I do cipher those ones a lot of the time. It's just quick. Are you guys arguing over aluminium now? Look, we spell it two different ways. I speak English, you speak American. They have a lot of similarities, our languages, but we speak two different languages. And there is a very offensive joke that goes along with that, but I'm not going to say it because we're on stream. I am above that. Alright then, Acceltra, where are we at? Just need the prime receiver. Okie dokie, and the prime receiver is... There we are, on the Neo F3 Uncommon. Let's do it. Neo F3. Neo, we got... Steel Path, please. It's a crossfire. Oh, is that crossfire again? You know, I actually don't want to go back to that tile set. I don't, no, we'll take the interception. That's worth it. Just, we'll take this one. Nah, Gorilla, we still got the Akarius lift to finish up. That could trip us up a bit. If you can speak British English and American English, does that mean you're multilingual? That's close enough that no one cares to distinguish in that regard, no. How do you say aluminium? Aluminium. Or how do I say aluminum? Because you're clearly writing the American word aluminum in much the same way as you wouldn't read bonjour and go, oh, bonjour? Because it's quite clearly a French word, you say bonjour when you read it. So, aluminum. When you spell it that way, it's aluminum. But that's not an English word.
You were going to capture the tower.
That is an American word.
Incoming messages.
It's like how, you know, I say chips, you say fries. I say crisps, you say chips. And that's where I'll stop there. Fair enough, Job. Yeah. Yeah. We're also not going to go down that road. We all know where that road leads. It leads to people getting needlessly banned due to sensibilities or insensibilities of foreign cultures. We don't need to go down there. The English way sounds like a cool element. Yeah, aluminium. Because a large chunk of our elements have ium on the end. Ytterbium, americium, plutonium, uranium. Ium, ium, ium. It's, for once in English, consistent. I know, this is a very strange thing. It concerns and confuses a lot of people, the idea of the English language being in any way consistent. It instills fear into the hearts of men, women, and non-binary types alike. The very concept of consistency in our language, I know. But fear not, because the Americans can come along and fix that. Aluminum. We also use the metric system. Wait, the English. We use the metric system as much as the Yanks do. We will typically talk about our weight in stones and pounds. And we will measure out our food in either grams or ounces, we don't mind. We fill our cars up with litres of fuel to travel miles of distance.
That's it.
We buy our milk in pints and our beers.
We'll take a look inside.
We have cups as a measuring device to use. Or fluid ounces, if you will, to go alongside the metric measures we also use. But here's the thing. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, Ken, you can say all that, but hold on. You just said that the Americans and the British use imperial metric the same. What do the Americans use for metric? Oh, it's simple. One of the most widely discussed pastimes that really distinguishes between English culture and United States culture, a huge distinction, is your guns. Tell me, do you measure ammunition by going, yes, this is so many inches? Or do you go, oh yeah, that's 5.56 mil. It's 5.56. 7.62. You refer to them in millimeters. Not always. There are plenty of us who use calibers and whatnot, or grains. But you refer to a lot of your ammunition in millimeters. What socket gets lost so much of the time? So many men with their toolkits are complaining of all the sockets to lose. It's the 10mm. So it turns out, believe it or not, that the English and Americans use metric and imperial in about equal measure. We just do it differently. That's it. And what do we get for loot for that? We get Acceltra Prime Receiver! Acceltra Prime is ours. Love it. Love it. That was a really easy to farm weapon. That was really, really easy to farm on that one. And we got back a Miso relic too. Nice. Alrighty, let's bring it up into here. Oh, I could do the former as well whilst we're at it. Let's get the former building. Boop. Let's get the Acceltra building. Boop. And now we just need to finish off this. One Akarius Prime Receiver. Alright. I was going to say, you know what, maybe American is a completely different language. No clue what you guys are saying. I mean, both yes and no at the same time there, because just see words you don't understand doesn't mean it's a different language. You just haven't explored enough of that language. If I were to start talking about various geological concepts, I'm fairly certain of the 209 people watching right now, maybe 20 could follow along all of the terminology. But the rest of you would have no chance. You'd catch bits and pieces here or there, maybe get some of it from context, but a lot of it... Warframe still a thing? Yes, indeed. Do it? Nah. We don't need to go into geology today. Let's not rock the boat on that one. Instead, I need a relic. Unless you guys have the relic and want to carry me through on that one. I'm going to just open you up on that one. If you happen to have the, let's see, which one is it? Akarius, Lith A6. Lith A6. If you want to make it nice and quick for all the wonderful people watching, if you happen to have that, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just go farm some. As a non-native English speaker, you can't complain about any of these British and American ones. I mean, you can still complain, because you might learn one English, but then go to use it in the wrong place.
Another pun? How humiliating.
Aw. Thank you, Sil. I'm glad someone recognised the sheer value of that. To be worth a few thousand spanners on that one. Let's see. All three of them have it, so sure. Alright. Carry me. Let's see, what's on the list? Spy Lith. Do we have better? Exterminate Lith. Perfect. There we go. I will sort this by refinement and just start churning through the radiants I have. There are different radiants. So I can at least contribute something of value if we don't get what we need. You accept relic donations? Not looking to trade right now. We're all good. Hello, random potato. It's alright. You still made it here. You're all good. You definitely didn't miss the entire Acceltra farm and most of the Akarius farm. So, okay, you might be slightly late, but it's fine. If you don't end up at the stream, it just means you're doing something even more important, is what I can assume. Bop! Oh yeah, Steel Path. That wasn't going to be an insta-kill. Slightly disappointed myself there. What build have I got on at the moment? They're dying fast enough. Very nice. Ability range increase.
Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Take her out in the middle of the cast. I'm trying to see, in amongst all of the just effects everywhere, which ones are actually living enemies. Because usually, in this kind of circumstance, I'd rely on my AoE damaging effects to highlight enemy through damage numbers. I suppose I should be using a enemy highlight, shouldn't I? Rather than keep shooting that same corrupted celestial twin.
Well done. Now get to extraction.
When you can get a full dash out like that, it just feels so good. Oh! So chat, it's been an absolutely wonderful stream. I hope you have enjoyed watching this Akarius and Acceltra farm. We've been at it for all of 85 minutes, yeah. Including the Archon hunt. So actually, I think, yeah, when you take out the Archon hunt, it took us an hour. It took us an hour. There is definitely no such thing as streamer luck. Tune in next time for even more... Oh dear. Gal speed type farm? Yeah. That was pretty damn fast. I didn't even bring the relic. I just had a different one. Meanwhile, you still don't have Grenell Prime? Wow. Alright, there we are. Job done. No, I will not spend 100 platinum to rush that. Thank you very much, Warframe, but no thank you. Might as well farm it yourself. You feel inspired? Go on with you. And please do not cry to me if it doesn't go as smoothly. Dear. Just for fun, Game PT asking, hi, can you tell me why I can't get XP to my primary weapons when I'm killing mobs with the melee? For example, yesterday I was getting XP. Alright, I can tell you why. Because when you kill with a weapon, when you specifically kill with a weapon, half the XP goes to that weapon, and half the XP goes to your Warframe. However, when you complete an objective, or when someone else in affinity range completes the objective or gets a kill, you instead get what's known as global affinity. That will be split 25% to your Warframe, and then 75% to your weapons, which if you have 3, is 25, 25, 25 to each of those. So if you're in a group with others, they are getting kills, then your primary weapon will be gaining XP, even if you're not using it. If you are completing mission objectives, such as spy vaults, then your primary will get XP, even if you're not using it. But if all that is happening is that you are getting kills, if that's the entire source of the XP, or the main chunk of the XP, your primary will see nothing unless you use your primary to do it. That's what's happening there. To that end, you want to make sure you stay in range of your allies. Y'all lot, stay in the squad. I'm just going to drop us into a basic mission for demonstration purposes. And for that reason, I'm going to force us in. So let's drop ourselves in here. Just so I can quickly show you what you'll be looking for to make sure you're actually getting that XP to carry over. Let's load us in. Any second. See, I told you, Zom is running on a potato. We are loading in one of the most basic missions in the entire goddamn game. And Zom's potato is taking a moment. Somehow. Here we are. So, you see on the right hand side, next to my allies, there are those triple circles. So that symbol, in fact I can point out here, this symbol, shared affinity. That shows when you're in range of an ally, when they earn affinity, you will get it as global. And that will improve the stuff you're not using. You'll notice that Pocket Demon has gone out of range, and now they're back, but they had gone out of range for a bit. That range is normally 50 meters in a sphere. So now that I've run away from them, they won't get the XP from this kills. Those pop-ups there, they didn't get that XP because they were not in range. Alright, we might as well just finish this mission. It's a 35 enemy mission. Let's just dunk on them. Just zoomies through it. Because hey, why not? Whilst we're at it. You never know. Such a small map as this one, you never know. Damn, no special stuff. Alright. As easy as that. Best way to rank up Archwing? It depends on where you're at in the game. If you can handle Steel Path Archwing missions, then the Archwing Mobile Defense, best done with others or with friends. Archwing Mobile Defense on Steel Path, that'll be your best for it. The only exceptions to that is when you're leveling the guns. Arcwing guns, you're probably best using it on a necromech because it levels up there as well. You don't need any special upgrades, just put it on a necromech and take it somewhere a necromech can go get some kills instead. Does precision intensify affect Titania's guns? I haven't tested it, sorry, so I don't know. I would imagine so, but I don't know. Can you help with the mission? What are you stuck on, main man? What are you stuck on? You know what, let's see if I can test the whole Titania thing. Sotmir, Zom, Pocket Demon, thank you very much for helping out on cracking the relics there. Hope you enjoy the rewards and loot we got there yourselves too. I'm going to quickly give that Titania question and answer if I can. Titania has no Archon shards, brilliant. Do I have an empty config? I do not, let's create one. There we are. So let's just test and verify this. Really easy to do. Really, really easy test to do is this one. So let's do it.
Where would the sanctuary be without...
For those of you curious, Precision Intensify is the new Intensify mod added with Whispers in the Wall. It is a serious strength bonus, but only for your 4th ability. So I'm currently running with it, without it equipped. I don't imagine the modding's going to have an effect, but I'm going to take it off anyway. We're not having an empty... Okay, fine. Whatever. Empty config. Just going to take that off to be absolutely certain it's having no impact there. Let's get some prod crewmen. And I need to turn on damage numbers to actually see what I'm doing. .176. That is a consistent 176. Beautiful. Okie dokie. We go into Titania Prime. We go for a Precision Intensify, which I have not ranked up and can't do in the fucking simulacrum. Shoot. That just goes to show how little I've tested that. We'll come back to that. So it's 176. Yeah, the Arsenal has been lying to us about almost everything forever. Always test, don't trust the Arsenal. Always, always test. The Arsenal just gives you an idea of what will work. You like my Titania? Thank you. There we go, 90% ability strength to 4th slot. Does Precision Intensify count for subsumed powers? I imagine that it would, yes. It does specify the 4th slot. So yes, it should apply.
Where would the sanctuary be without you?
Why can't you upgrade mods in a simulacrum? I think it has something to do with the fact that the simulacrum is loaded in your gear. To upgrade the mods will be to change your available gear. So it's possibly just a coding limitation. Alright then, so with that one change, 3-3-4 without crit, 3-3-4. Whereas before, as we saw, it was 176. Just going to verify that again for you. Babbity boop. 176. Verified, confirmed. It definitely affects the damage of Titania's Dex picks here. 100% guaranteed. There we are then. Easy peasy testing. I'm in a testing mood. If you got your little bits and pieces, simple stuff. Let's not get crazy. I was like, hey Ken, can you test if Necros is Desecrate? Can it also increase the drop rate of this really, really rare mob for some stupid item? Yeah, no, fuck off. Can we see if Arcane Avenger gets triggered whilst you're on Gauss with his 2? With his 2? Oh, what if he takes no damage at all from something? Sure. We can test that one. Arcane Avenger, 'Gauss 2, yep. Yippity, 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 yippity. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, let's give that a quick whirl. So the way we'll test this, we'll activate Redline, activate the kinetic plating, do some dashing around, and then get shot at by something with pure physical damage. So that'll be a heavy gunner, I think, would be a good instance for that. I love how my Gauss does not look like a Gauss whatsoever. If you look at this at a glance, that's not a Gauss. But it is. Alright, let's just start tapping this up. I want to get it up to full and then I'll summon in the enemies. Just so I don't accidentally have them trigger it before we're ready to test. So I could just scale myself up to 100, then we'll be guaranteed maximum battery, therefore fully immune to physical damage. Nearly 100. There we go, full charge. It forgot that I wanted heavy gunners, but that's fine, we'll remind it. I need to unpause the AI. Alright then. And yep, straight away, even though I took no damage, Arcane Avenger has procced. There we are, confirmed. Even if you take 0 damage whatsoever, that's not the requirement for Arcane Avenger. It's taking the hit, not getting damaged. If you take 0 damage, or as good as 0 damage, it still triggers. At least on Gauss 2 there. As much as it says on damage, that's not actually the trigger. It's on get hit, which they refer to as on damage. Can it trigger on Mesmer Skin? Yeah. I've seen it trigger on Mesmer Skin, yeah. Can verify that for you. I searched Mesmer Skin. Sorry, Revenant, you are exactly one ability. You are just Mesmer Skin. That's unintended. But anyway, consequence for Avenger. Real quick arenals. We can do the same verification, it'll be even quicker, so I don't need to wait for a battery to charge.
You are a true hunter. Where would the sanctuary be without
you? Does it stop the effects from proccing bleed? That is a very good question, Cake. I'm going to say no, that it does not. However, the bleed effect will... Yeah, I don't think the bleed effect will actually have damage behind it because you'll be resisting the direct hit itself. And enemies use slightly different calculations for how they approach things. So, could well be fine. Alright, Mesmer Skin is active. Oh. Ignoring the fact that I have to just stun them all. They'll wake up in a moment. Okay, I might be stunning them a little bit too quickly. I'm going to need some Xmas. I'm going to need some Xmas to verify this one, just because it's just chance-based thing. I'm not seeing Avenger being procced. I was mistaken. It just got procced there. I ran out of Mesmer Skin and it immediately got procced. Let's see if it refreshes. 2 seconds, 1 second, 0. It's completely gone. Mesmer Skin is holding up. No trigger. Mesmer Skin runs out. Avenger procs. Yep, nope, that confirms it. Mesmer Skin blocks it. As Zom is pointing out, you can use, Combat Discipline. That would trigger it. But yeah, Mesmer Skin blocks Arcane Avenger proccing. I was incorrect on that one. And this is why we test things. Okay, you know what? Let's test your concern. We'll test it with... Yeah, I should be able to just directly test it against those ones there. Let's see, what's a good slash outputting enemy? I think... I think Butchers should be fine, right? Yeah. Butchers do pure slash, so they'll be a good enough test for this. Although they might get murderized by Redline doing Redline things. Xmas Butchers. That'll do it. No user abilities. As Xmas is forced heat proc. And Gauss is immune to heat. No, but we need the slash proc, because heat proc deals heat damage. We need a slash proc specifically. That's what we're asking. Because slash proc doesn't do slash damage, it does true damage. I'm not getting into types of true damage today. So yeah, we need normal Butchers to chop at me with the full thing up, see what happens. That's the test. That'll be the test. Does Desecrate work on enemies disintegrated by blast damage? Possibly? Possibly. I would have to check that one separately. We'll come back to that one. Blast damage does something? Yeah, if you kill someone with primary blast damage, it removes the corpse. Unfortunately, it does not remove the corpse from view, so enemies can still spot disintegrated corpses from blast. In fact, they can spot them for longer than if you disintegrated them by other means. So it actually reduces your ability to be stealthy, does blast damage, rather than increasing it, which is ridiculous. Right, kinetic plating. Let's just remind ourselves real quickly on this. Prevents Gauss from being staggered or knocked down, and has resistance to those. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's get this active first. I didn't need the roar there. Don't know why I cast that, to be honest. Okay, plane stops hard falls. Yep. Yes, it does. Alright then. That is charged. Butchers. You got 35 seconds to slash proc me. Please do not get constantly staggered. That's what I was afraid of. Damn it.
3 months, yay.
Come on. Come on. Ashley the Veteran, thank you very much for continuing your support here on the channel. I appreciate that. Up to that lovely silver mug. I'm going to have to use different enemies. These are shit. Ashley, cheers. Oh. Maybe Xmas or the Everguard. That's what I thought of, but then the Xmas will use Xmas abilities, making it harder to see the test that's actually going on. So I'm instead going to get enemies which should avoid the staggering effects. I just need to have... I'd like a heavy unit with a lot of slash. I'm going to see if a heavy gunner variant does that. Let me see then. So, heavy gunner, Warframe. I think basic heavy gunners use primarily impact in their damage. Yeah, they do. Let's see. A Kuva heavy gunner using a Dragoon. That might work. That might be a lot of slash. I'm just going to be over here charging this up. Out of sight, out of mind. Because until it's 100%, I can't be certain. I have, of course, also got adaptation, but it's fine. Come on. I mean, yeah, the slash adaptation is very good news. That shows me exactly what I needed to see. Alright, come on. Shoot me, slash me. So far, no procs happening. So far, not so good on that regard. Negate slash proc, and I am taking damage. There we go then, yeah. That confirms it. Slash procs can bypass kinetic plating. There we go. Test successful. That is absolute guarantee right there. It was a tiny amount of damage, but slash procs from enemies do tend to be a little bit on the shit side. But it did deal damage there. You never get slash proc with 2 up? Actually, you probably do. You just don't notice it or don't have to care about it. There is also the fact that you probably have some status resistance coming in from places if you're using Worm, or if you're using Rolling Guard, you'll take it out in places like that. Enemies are not very good at proccing slash in general. But yeah, there we go. So there is no special case on that one. It is still just an ordinary slash proc. It does apply slash proc, and then it just deals a teeny tiny amount of damage anyway. Or at least in that case it did. So there we go. Alright then. Hello Cresho. What's up? We're doing all good. We farmed the Akarius and Acceltra. I should probably update the stream title on that. Oops. Instantly farmed the... No. There we are. Now the stream title is a little more accurate. How does Nourish work specifically outside of bonus resource management and viral? That is a very specific question. Like, I know part of Nourish, but I don't understand Nourish. What is Nourish? Alright. I do have a guide on Grendel, by the way. You could watch that, but I'll give you this real quickly. So as it says here, you get a damage increase. So it will give a viral buff to your weapons. And you also know that it's, as you put it, bonus resource management. I mean, it's more than bonus, it's crucial. Energy multiplier, all energy income is multiplied by the energy multiplier. On top of that, it will heal Grendel, but it won't heal other players, won't heal other Warframes, as it is purely a Grendel thing for that. It deals damage to a swallowed enemy, again, only for Grendel, and that damage is based on strength, starting at 20%. And when enemies attack you, it causes a explosion from you, which will deal a little bit of viral damage and apply viral proc to all those affected. That has a radius as listed on the ability. There's a whole bunch of features in one there. Duncan McCloud saying, why not keep Thermal Sunder when you can strip armor with it and 87% redline? Because I don't want to strip armor with that Gal setup. That Gal setup is my go-to Blapinator 5000 for things that don't need to be armor stripped. I just shoot them so hard they die. Rather than spending the time and energy casting the Thermal Sunder combo to get the armor strip, I just unleash in their general direction, everything perishes. Blapinator 9000. You laughing at that? You laughing? You having a good old chin wag at that? You having a good old chuckle? You think this is some kind of joke? Think I'm having you on here with this Blapinator? I'll have you know, I'm not having you on. Can I explain how Breach Surge damage works? You can get millions and almost no damage from 2 consecutive casts on the same frame. Yeah, that's how Breach Surge works. You seem to understand it perfectly.
Quick deaths, and I with your victory.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Alright then. Flapinator 9000. This is the Blapinator 9000. This is me just pouring a Tenet Envoy rapidly into the ground enemies. Will I be trying Warframe Mobile? Currently my understanding is that it was iOS. I do not use Apple products. I have no intention of using Apple products. I will avoid them, actually, if I can. Yeah, so Redline increases fire rate, increases casting speed, and increases reload speed. Which means it just makes all of this so much snappier and an absolute dream to play with. And you'll notice how much armor strip I do not require against these level 112 Steel Path Grineer. I don't need it, because the sheer damage and slash output is overwhelming. If they don't die to the initial attack, they'll die to the slash, with no combo needed to prime them with armor stripping. What do I think about the MR0 only playthrough? The MR0 playthrough? You were referring to something specific that I have not seen. Can I show build? Yeah, I'll show you build after this. In fact, I don't even need to complete the mission. I've demonstrated what it does. Do Acceltra companion weapon ribbon sell? Check Warframe market when it's online again. It went down earlier, so it might still be down. Alright, so this is the basic go-to Blapinator 9000 build I have on Gauss Prime here. Arcane Avenger, which we verified does definitely work with kinetic plating at maximum. Arcane Energize, because running out of energy is not fun, so I like to have all of the energy. This is a backup mod, you don't need it there, I just have it as a backup. Adaptation, because even more tank is better than less tank, I love just not being dead. Rest of the focus, we've got focus on duration, a little bit of strength to bring up raw there, but mostly is a focus on duration and a bit of efficiency because, again, I don't like having it. My abilities run out. And Prime Flow because lots of energy. This is not highly engineered, it's just the Blapinator 9000. That's all. You're planning to try and finish the game as a Mastery Rank 0. Alright, Cresho, you have fun with that. That's all I have for you on that one. You have fun with that. Because, I mean, what do you think is going to happen as a result? How are you defining completing the game? And what do you think is going to happen as a result of that? Because there is no finish point in Warframe. Is the Warframe market just broken for you? Nah, some people were mentioning it earlier, so they're probably having website issues. Curious what adaptation you prefer Rolling Guard. So with adaptation, I also then just have even more resistance against incoming attacks, certainly against ones that may not apply to kinetic plating. But overall, it just gives even more resilience in general. Don't you need to be at least MR5 to do all quests? Junctions don't require MR5, that got changed. You don't require any mastery to complete mainline quests now, that was changed as well. So an MR0 player can theoretically just go through the entire game in one session. That said, there are still some quests which are MR locked, to my understanding. May I ask, do you think it would be a good idea to let exalted weapons use arcanes? Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. That's D's purview there. When it comes to the exalted weapons, they have all kinds of restrictions on them in general, and those restrictions feel arbitrary to say the least. Most damning of all is that exalted melees do not have a stance bonus to their capacity, which it's hard to say whether that's an oversight or just cruelty for the sake of cruelty. I do like variety and complexity in games, because if everything is just push the same button, get the same result, no one finds that interesting. Though exalted weapons are one of those cases where they just seem to have edge cases where they don't need to belong. Yeah. So maybe they should be able to use arcanes. Maybe not, but if not, something needs to explain why would be best. Something just should explain why. Have a bright. Honestly, no insult taken whatsoever. If you don't want to watch Power World, you don't want to watch Power World. Have a bright. So let me put your mind at ease here. Let me just bring up the details from the Power World stream. I can give you this figure straight up. So, for my Warframe streams, the lowest they've gone in the last month is an average of 111 viewers. The highest is 302 average viewers. Okay? So that's real low point, real high point in the last month. That's where the Warframe streams sit. The Power World stream on Friday had an average of 26 viewers. You are not alone in saying you didn't want to watch it. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Friday remains Variety Friday. I do not Warframe on that. The vast majority of the time. Because if I did only Warframe, I would have quit as a content creator a long time ago. Are you of the opinion pseudo-exalted should just be made moddable exalteds? I'm not of the opinion that's the only answer. That is a loaded question there. That you're saying it's the one thing that canon should be happening. It's implied in that there. I think that is a good solution. I'm not sure if it is the best solution. It hinges onto a wider issue, as far as I'm concerned, which is that Warframe abilities don't scale, except for Exalted, but otherwise don't scale with the rest of the game. You take, for example, let's say Limbo. Limbo's Cataclysm, it deals damage. It deals 500 explosion damage, and you can scale this with your strength. One would imagine that if you're going to put damage onto something and care about that value of damage enough to decide that it's 500 rather than 5 or 5 million, there is some design involved as to what that Cataclysm should achieve. On really low level enemies, that will completely nuke them. When you get to level 30 and 40, nowhere near as much. Certainly if they're armoured enemies, you're not going to be killing them quite so easily with that Cataclysm. And by the time you get to Seal Path, the idea that Cataclysm has damage only matters to crates. But weapons don't do that. Abilities are in this weird spot where they start off really strong, and then unless they have some scaling to them, they become non-damaging abilities. And I'm not sure where the design sits on that. That just weird. Feels weird. I'm out of tea. Let's go for the water. Oh yeah. This duck feels queasy? Why so, Moon? Why so? You shan't be that concerned about a Limbo, should you? I will be checking over the details. That Duck Squad on Saturday was actually very informative. Very, very informative. So I will be doing some tweaking around that. That was exceptionally informative. As I'll say, a ton of abilities that shouldn't be guns are guns, apparently. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Okay. So what I'm saying, the only thing I can see speaking for pseudo-exalted is that it makes Rivens for terrible weapons useful. I would rather weapons be useful in their own right, rather than being shoehorned into this arcane system, and I don't mean literal arcanes, this obscure system just to make an ability happen. That's really weird and frankly terrible design. Sure, it is helpful to those Rivens, and therefore helpful to those weapons in a sense of usage metrics, but that's just not the way to do it. It's really not. If the only reason a weapon exists is because a buff out there just so happens to have a higher multiplier on it for not that weapon, it's an insult to the weapon. It's an insult to the weapon. Yeah. Yeah, Duck Squad didn't deal with a a Limbo. They dealt with a Styanax. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about with Duck Squad, by the way, I'm currently in the process of beta testing my project to turn all Warframes into D&D monsters. That's Dungeons and Dragons monsters. And so far, honestly, so good. With the testing so far, I've got 2 squads set up, selected from a pool of people who applied in the list of supporters, basically. Anyone who was a channel supporter at the time I put out the request for sign-ups. Of those who signed up, I then selected those who would fit the times I can run it, had the experience I was looking for in different groups. A few people, unfortunately, just could not fit into those slots, so for those of you who did not make it, my apologies on that, but you will in future be able to get to try these out, I'm sure. So I've got 2 groups. Duck Squad. They are affectionately named Duck Squad after... Let me see if I can grab the image here for you. I came across an image which is just so fitting that it became the name of them. I'm just grabbing that now. Where did I put it? It has vanished off of that. Ugh, bollocks. There it is. This image here, I think, perfectly encapsulates the idea. Here is your DM, very experienced, the bringer of war and doom, leading the little duckies into it. And it's just so perfect. It is just so absolutely perfect. And so, they are Duck Squad. The other squad are far more experienced. They are the second squad that I've been running at the same time, and they are running high-level characters to test the higher-level features of what I've been creating. They needed an animal name as well, so they are Wolf Squad. They have a not-so-wolf theme picture to go with them. But this was just so beautiful. It was just so beautiful. I had to, and so it became the name for it. They are Duck Squad. I have Duck Squad and Wolf Squad. So Duck Squad, they are running level 3 characters at the moment. They have faced off against a challenge rating for Styanax, and the fight had a little bit more swing to it than I would like. So I will be reviewing exactly how that went down and the mechanics involved. As it is a challenge rating 4, it is above their level, and as low-level characters, hefty swing is to be expected as a result. Also, newer players, not as efficient at playing, that happens. Does Wolf Squad get pack tactics? Wolf Squad has a bunch of stuff, some. Oh dear god, do Wolf Squad have a lot of features. I would not be surprised if they pull out things to the equivalent of pack tactics. They do have a rogue, so I mean, kinda. A rogue with a critical powered psychic knife, as you do. That poor toad never saw it coming. But yeah, Wolf Squad have played against, so far, they've got the opportunity to fight one Warframe as well. They are a group of level 7 characters. They faced off against a Uraili, which was set to be level 9, in addition to 3 giant toads under her command. Which was beautiful. Yeah, Grumpy Pants, yeah. So, yeah. Toads. And when I say giant toads, I don't mean giant. I mean big enough to swallow a person whole. Giant. And that one was honestly a beautiful encounter. I was so happy with it. Did they trap Uraili in a doorway? Actually, yes. Yes, they did. Uraili ran circles around him for a bit, but eventually they managed to trap her up against a doorway. In response to this, she nearly straight up one-shot the Minotaur Barbarian. She, her compressor landed a critical hit, and my god did it land a critical hit because it was pure necrotic viral, pure necrotic overload. Yeah. Also, Uraili nearly drowned someone else as well. In fact, technically kind of did. They needed to be revived through magic. 2 people went down to the Uraili. 2 people went down to her. Train Loaf, I honestly don't really understand what that means because I have no idea who that person is. I assume that's another creator based on the way that's written. But I have no idea who that person is or what they're like. So I have no opinion on it. Uraili shouldn't be allowed to be that strong? What do you mean? What? You think that this creature right here You think this creature couldn't be that strong? You really think so? Fair enough, Trado. Thanks for the suggestion. You know what sneak stairs are, right? You know? You've seen the animation, how it incapacitates and lifts up these enemies. I made her slightly weaker in D&D in that she doesn't incapacitate. All she does is lift them up and restrain them, and they're kind of in a bubble, you know, it's stopping them from being able to speak properly as they try and fight their way out of it. Tradeloaf, thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime. Welcome to the channel proper, and enjoy that lovely blue sub badge next to your name. Cheers. So yes, indeed. With Sea Snares and Merlina to boot, because the Adept Warframes in my setup, they have their first 2 abilities. Masters have the first 3, Primes have all 4 abilities. So she was skating around with damage resistance on a high-speed Merlina, sea snaring her opponents and blapping them with a high viral compressor that also managed to land an improved critical, because she also is Uranian, has a passive. If she's moving, she has improved critical hit rate. Yeah, Eurali in Dungeons and Dragons landing a crit on a 19 with her compressor spell attack. Oh, it was glorious. On a 66, I think she rolled 2, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. That is 6 six-sided dice, and 4 of the 6 were 6s. I roll openly. And, well, the Minotaur was not very happy at that result. Yeah. Now, I want to make this clear. It's still balanced. She still lost. She still perished. The group of level 7s did manage to take her down. Question is, chat, do they have the resources to fight what comes next, having already faced her? Oh. We shall see. But yes, it's going well. I am really pleased how well it's going with the playtesting so far, because it means then what I have can be nicely converted over to the more finalized document I'm putting together, making it as pretty as possible for the stat blocks. After that, then it is the graphics, and then then it'll be done. It'll be done. And this has been a very, 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 very long time coming. The very first stream of me showing the creation of this, right in the early days, that was November 2022. Have I done Corvex? Yep, Corvex is in the document as well. It is up to Corvex. So any Warframes released after this point now, like Dante, they will not be in the initial document. Simply because, or at least they're not planned to be in the initial document. I might change my mind on that, but that's the current plan, as I do need to actually finish the document. Style and everything. Yo! Welcome on in. Is that Storm Andreas? I think that is Storm Andreas. Welcome on in there. Thank you for raiding over with your group of 21 right there. Quack attack. Oh, yep. It's apparently we have... We need to summon the Duck Squad. Duck Squad, hello. We're being attacked by actual ducks now. You guys are probably the most well-equipped to deal with this. Duck Squad, go. It's a small world, isn't it? It's a small world. Duck Squad followed by ducks in a quack attack.
The Kengineer! Oh my god! Wait, are they here? Kengineer.
Gorilla, thank you. I always love that soundbite. I always love that. Talk about ducks, ducks appear. True, yeah. True. Is that Anatidamancy? Anatidamancy? It's going to be hard to pronounce. There's Anatidophobia, which is the phobia that, or fear, that somewhere, somehow, a duck is secretly watching you. It's not a real one, but it's nice to think about. Oh. I speak a duck and therefore they are. Moon, do you want to just try X mark D20? Let's see, Moon. Can you fight a duck? If you can roll above a 10, you can fight a duck. Because, yeah, the bot has the ability to roll a d20 here in the chat. Let's go ahead. Go on, Moon. X mark d20. Roll a d20. Can you fight a duck? Not roll. X mark d20. Ladybug has the ability to fight a duck. They rolled an 18. Snake Raider rolled a 14. They can fight a duck. Storm Andreas, who brought the ducks, can fight a duck. Last Halfabri has been eaten by a duck. Cosmo has been bitten by a duck. Andrew's just about fought off the duck. Grumpy Pants has been squashed by a duck. It was a giant duck. Raptor managed to defeat their duck. Aspie Idiot apparently kicked their duck into the next plane of existence because, my god, that's an at-20. Disaster Maker has been made into a disaster. The duck's left nothing of him. Squirbo, come out scathed, but managed to defeat the duck. Crashmat thought they were winning, didn't realise that it was a decoy duck. Crashmat died to the duck. Raw Artillery was hit by duck artillery. They're crafty, these ducks. Milgapek met the horrible goose. Actually, it was a duck. Still died. Patramain also perished to a duck. This one just suffocated you with its lovely plumage. Captionato, you defeated your duck. You went on a good old duck hunt. It's a spam that eats the rest of the duck. Yeah. Chikite, or Chikite. I don't know how I said kitty. It's one T there. Come on, brain. Work together now. Chikite, rolled a 6. Therefore, you thought you saw a duck. It was in fact 2 ducks. Much like I thought I saw 2 T's, but it was 1. The ducks got you. Lobelia managed to defeat their duck. Congratulations. Hydraxic died to the duck. Deathsculler then got vengeance and killed the duck that killed Hydraxic. Moon is trying again, I think. Still dies to the duck. Choc also died to the duck. Ashley the Veteran managed to defeat their duck. This one with a sword. Don't know why you have a sword. Maybe it's because you're a veteran, but you killed them with a sword. Umbrella killed their duck with an umbrella. The almighty Queen River is now sleeping in the river. The duck won that one. Gorilla with a Glock shot their duck with a crossbow. Ducks winning a lot? Well, I mean, ducks are powerful. Fear the ducks. Ducks are just river chickens, really. A Toon Guy got a 19. Congratulations, Toon Guy. You turned your duck into a cartoon and then tore it in half. Derpy Doot derped in front of their duck. Duck did not approve. Dead Derpy. Jokadika is apparently super effective against a duck. The Catacosmo, however, discovered that ducks do not fear cats. Ducks will deal with cats. Yep. You just got completely ducked up with that one. Zomtronic just about defeated their duck. They felt bad about it. Zomtronic actually likes ducks, but needed to survive to be able to continue petting all the snakes as well. Real Oven Cake. The ducks ovened you. Almighty Queen River trying again. Still asleep in the river. Brother Sothoth has been murdered by an eldritch duck. Gorilla with a Glock this time dropped their crossbow. Gorilla is now out. They're dead. I think that might do on the ducks there, yeah? I think that might do on the ducks in chat for now. Alright, we'll finish with a Solansi. Solansi has dofused his duck. Solansi won. This is one of the most amazing segments to ever happen on a stream. You're very welcome. Dofused? Yep, dofused. It is a special French maneuver to dofus a duck. You love these clever ways of determining if the person won or died against a duck? I am a creative DM. A creative duck master, if you shall. Squirbo, thanks for hydrate. Cheers. Queen has resurrected and climbed out the river. They defeated one duck. The other two are still laughing at them. In that way that, you know, the duck quacking that sounds so close to laughter, you still hear them, Queen. You may have defeated a duck, but the rest of the ducks know. You didn't win that battle. You hope this is exactly how next Saturday will go. Just actually let me make a note. I need to add ducks to Duck Squad's opponents. Yep, there we go. We're going to have a Warframe that uses ducks for attacks. It's going to be a duck frame. Kado would know how to die to a duck in style, right? I like that, Kado. I didn't actually see you sneak in there. If you're going to die to a duck, you're going to die with style. Alright, Kadoma. Exclamation mark D20. I want to see now. Do you make it? We need to know if Kadoma can survive a duck. Neuroman, cheers. Unfortunately, Kadoma has not managed to defeat their duck. Now, we've got to think of something appropriate for Kadoma here. Truly, utterly appropriate. It turns out that Kadoma's duck was the creature behind Lethal Company. The duck has fired you, Kadoma. Miralabe has defeated their duck, however. Neuroman has defeated their duck as well. Congratulations. The two of you work together, fighting side by side, back to back, ducks ahead of you, and in an anime epic fight, two of you took out your ducks. Well played. The duck was a simple jump you missed. Yep. You tried to jump, the duck pushed you back. Minigipek went for a job interview. The duck took it instead. The queen is now 2 for 2 with ducks. You meant to type D20, you typed duck. Cosmo is the duck. Raptor Mark II has discovered that ducks are the original raptor. Raptor did not survive. Not the PR. Well, there'll be no public relations on that anymore. You are dead. The duck got you. Duck 20? Yep. Cosmo has become one with the ducks. Ladybug? Ladybug? that's the wrong time to make that typo. It's Martin Prime. Is now You met Duck Prime. Cosmo rolled a 7. You faced the Cosmic Duck. It did not end well. We've descended to ducks. Yeah, it's just ducks all the way down now. I don't know if I have enough duck improv in me to make it throughout the rest of the stream, but sure, why not? Kadoma has gone for a second attempt at dealing with the duck. This time, Kadoma has picked up a shotgun and taken out the duck. For now, Kadoma is safe, but there is always another roll. The Queen is trying once again to deal with the ducks. Unfortunately, this time, Queen, you are forever perished. It's 3 for 2 in that there are 3 more ducks making up for the 2 you killed. You are once again face down in the river. Lament material, trying to defeat a duck. They lament that they did not bring appropriate weaponry. The duck won. Dr. Nuka-Cola shouldn't have drunk that cola before going to face the ducks. The ducks won. Storm Andreas hits a duck with a lightning bolt. Very effective. Apparently we're now playing Queen's funeral music, because Queen has utterly perished. There is no coming back from such defeat at the hands of ducks. Or wings of ducks, I suppose. But we can still swing around to the music for said funeral. Alright. Now we're definitely done with the ducks. Also, I should probably get off this year early. This is the cursed one, isn't it? Yeah. We definitely shouldn't stay on this year early. I mean, people might have people might prefer to face the duck than understand what is behind this button right here. Do we fill them in? Regulars, do we fill in those who are new here on what is behind this button? It is a build called Twitch's Fault. I should warn you ahead of time. Do we reveal what is behind this button? Derpy Doot. If only. If only. It were so nice. This is a 7 Umbral Eurali. This one is still a V polarity for now. But the rest is Umbral. It is a 7 Umbral Uranium. Where's the 8th? We didn't raise enough for charity, apparently. We didn't raise enough. But, yeah. And when I say we didn't raise enough, honestly, we raised an absolute fuck ton. For those of you who don't know, this basic theme is a result of raising a hell of a lot of money for the Quest to Conquer Cancer last year. We raised $6,000 on this channel. $6,000. Which is absolutely huge. No other channel came even close to that. I know it's not a competition, it is just a sheer recognition of the amount of support that came from this community here. It was incredible. And also 7 Umbral formed my Urali. And yeah, the 8 former is the Aura, yeah. It's an Aura former, because of course you had to do that to me as well. That wasn't even for charity. You guys just did that to me at a previous point. So yeah, if you thought the ducks weren't bad enough, 7 Umbral Urali exists. And at some point in the future, I fear some way, somehow, I'm going to be coerced into finishing that build. And you all know, that does not mean making it better. Is this why she was so fast? Pretty much, yeah. You're around saying, yo yo, didn't know you streamed a lot. Glad to be here and vibing the stream. Happy to be here. Well, welcome on in. Welcome on in. Add the last Umbra for the ducks. Sake, nah. Nah, we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. No. No, 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 no. Have I tried Twitch's Fault and Steel Path? I think I did, actually. Oops, wrong one. That one. Because, like, how bad could it be, you know? It's triple Umbral Urali. How bad could it be? We go through, like, oh, let's do Set the Exterminate. Why not? No Storm, no. No, I'm not going to do that. Nope. Nuka Cola, still dying to the ducks. Stop drinking the cola.
Their rage is vehement, their focus impressive. Give them all warriors death.
Alright. Full Umbral Urali versus Steel Path Grenier. How well does it go? Yes, I'm using the small laser. It's an amazing weapon. Deal with it. I mean, so far so good, right? So far so good. Killed 20 enemies whilst running K-Drive, Velocipod, or Merlina. I love that they specify Merlina. That is fair recognition. She deserves that. Nuka Cola, I can check that in a moment. I think it's a 20% chance of getting one, right? And Ephemera is 1 in 5, or is it 1 in 10? I thought it was 1 in 5. If it's 1 in 5, then the chance of not getting it 25 times in a row would be 80% raised to 25. Whatever that number comes out to be. I really should be using my sea snares on that guy. Next bombard I'll do it on. I swear that the butcher there didn't even change position. He just flew towards me as he died to the spore laser there. You find it weird Merlina can't benefit from K-Drive mods? Yeah, I do find that weird as well. Like, creating a K-Drive and then not making it a K-Drive was a wild decision to me. A wild decision. And of course, yes, Urali goes Owu. I mean, why wouldn't she? You know? Hello, Eximus. Allow me to delete you from this plane of existence. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, gate drive gameplay is definitely an acquired taste. Like, you have to get used to learning an entirely different way of moving. And the finagling that comes with that to navigate through tiles that were not designed with that in mind. It is definitely a different way of experiencing the game. I do not care about your clone rot. That guy rapidly dealt with. You return to Euryale? Yeah, someone was wondering if the Umbral Euryale could do Steel Path. And I was like, yeah, it's Euryale. Euryale can just do Steel Path. I think I've done an unmodded Euryale Steel Path. I swear I did that on a stream a few months back. I was like, tell me what mods you think are on Euryale. And some people did manage to guess it in the end. Like, oh yeah, that's unmodded, isn't it? And still, no threat, no challenge. The extra mods are just because you wanna, really. Look at that. Okay, that was the most unfortunate landing I could have landed there. This tile is not very Euryale safe. Or Merlina safe, I should say. Here's unwillingly part of the cult. I'm not part of the cult, I just recognise that Euryale is a capable Warframe. A lot of people like to hate on her, but quite frankly, that hate is misplaced. If you don't like K-driving, you don't like Merlina, sure. But the people that say that Euryale is a weak Warframe are people who just don't want to observe what she can actually do. That is blind hatred, and that's not what we do on this channel. We mock frames that are bad because they're bad, not because we want them to be bad. If you don't understand the distinction there, you might not be mature enough to play Warframe. Thoughts on Loki as a Warframe? A little bit shoehorned into what he does. He's got ways to be used and was very helpful to me as a newer player on dealing with the Tier 4 Void. Because his Radial Disarm saved me there. When they were doing so much more damage, how do you deal with enemies with a lot of extra damage? Remove their damage. Radial Disarm, it was great. Alright. Let's reactivate that. I was wondering when the Acolyte would show up. Let's get into a room a little bit more appropriate for Acolyte killing. Where are you at, mate? There you are. Hi! Bye! There we are. Which frames do we mock on this channel then? Inaros. Inaros doesn't really have a place. He's just a sack of hit points, and we've got sacks of hit points. Loki is niche, but has his uses. Inaros doesn't even have that. Because if you want brain dead tank, there are brain dead tanks that also still give you options. Or just even have a shield gate of all things. Inaros doesn't even manage that. Inaros actively nerfs the Unaru Focus School. How many Warframes actively nerf themselves? Yeah. Not great. Caliban is in a wonky spot, yeah. Caliban is definitely in a wonky spot. We'll see what goes on with Inaros first, though. Cake said, no idea Euryale could be that strong. Yeah, Cake is really powerful. Euryale is really powerful, even. You're also powerful. Euryale is really powerful. She may not be the most powerful frame in any given circumstance. Define it. But the fact is that she can get a lot done. She is mobile. Bit clunky to work with. That's a skill issue. Literally. Get the skills to handle the movement, just like you have with other Warframes. There are people who complain about Titania's movement, after all. Skill issue. She's a very mobile frame. Highly tanky. There's 90% damage reduction, no strength needed. It's just there. You just turn it on and you get it. For a 25 energy cost ability that has a health pool that lasts much longer than the health suggests it really should. I only ever got off Marlena during that fight because I chose to. What mods can you put on Marlena? You can't. Sea Snares. Basic crowd control ability, but also provides damage vulnerability on the enemies, making them easier to kill. So that is nice. I've got Aqua Blades turned off here for Nourish, for some reason. But Aqua Blades is also a capable ability, certainly with the Augment on it, because that stacks very nicely with Marlena. And then Riptide, it's had some improvements, it's gotten better over time, it's still not amazing for me. I'm still somewhat annoyed by ability, how the ability works, but only slightly. Eurelia on release was all kinds of problematic. Marlena at the time I think had only 75% damage reduction, which is a lot lower than 90%. The Sea Snares was less helpful, the Aqua Blades were less helpful and had no augment to it, Riptide was terrible. Those have all been changed. Those have all been changed. So yeah. Eurelia is in a good spot. If you ever come across someone that says Eurelia needs a rework, that is someone that actively does not understand what word rework means, or actively does not understand anything about Eurelia. Pure and simple. And I say this as someone that does not want to play Eurelia, does not enjoy really playing Eurelia. The movement itself, I'm not a fan of K-driving around. I don't like bumping into things. I'm not a fan of that. I prefer my Lavos. People think Frost needs a rework? Yeah. This is why you don't get your opinions from Reddit. This is why you don't get your opinions from Reddit. So many Warframes have mediocre or just outright bad abilities. You see how I don't use Gauss? Yeah. Gauss is a little bit too head-slammy gameplay, to be honest. Or the Thermal Sunder spam, which I'm not a fan of. For all the people that complain about the hold or tap cast on Lavos, Thermal Sunder. To get the most from it, you have to go through the tap and hold, because you have to combo them both. What about Nyx? Nyx could do with some buffs, but not a huge amount. She's in a good spot. Can you see my mag? I mean, you can see visually, I don't have a setup mag build. You'll notice Mag Prime is unranked at the moment. But sure, this is my, what's it? Ice cream van by the side of the beach. Mag. To get that lovely ice cream cone with the purple swirls. Or you can get the red or the green or the blue, doesn't matter, you get different coloured swirls on it, but those swirls and the ice cream, that's what I see in this mag. And I haven't done anything to change it because I can't be bothered. Is there a way to make Lavos less stressful on the fingers? It depends on how you play, quite honestly. It really does depend on how you play. I don't constantly hyper-focus on which abilities I'm infusing. Also on that, a thing that a lot of people miss is that you can be infusing elements whilst you're in the middle of doing something else. It is no cast animation whatsoever. So if you are, for example, in the middle of casting Lavos' Catalyze ability, during that cast animation, you can then be adding the element to the next ability you'll be casting. Whilst you are dashing with his Vile Rush, you can be adding the element to his next ability cast. Use that time, use that opportunity. So I have tap cast on the abilities, and then I hold during an animation or during something else I'm doing to add it in there. And that's if you need to add the element in there. Sometimes you don't even really care about the extra elements. You just go slap, do some quick motion. don't care about leaving behind more than cold. Just file rush. Sometimes that's all you need. Every Warframe at the end of the day can be an absolute menace if you try to hyper-optimize your gameplay. Certainly when you start including all kinds of operator functionality as well. But people don't do that most of the time. But for some reason, Lavos gets the treatment of, oh, but I need to be hyper-optimizing these elements. No, you don't. No, you don't. He is a pain on controller, yes. I'm Legendary 3. Yeah, long way to Legendary 4. Not been focusing on that. I'm Legendary 3. Yeah. Could I ever say I like Nyx's armor strip to be permanent? Today's Warframe makes no sense to be temporary. Usually it's not an issue, but it's weird AF. Yeah, I get you on that. I don't know if that's necessarily the way it needs to go for Nyx, but I get you on that. That would be nice. I think for me, the biggest thing would be addressing her mind control, which I have subsumed off of this. I think it'd be addressing her mind control. It may be an issue with the fact that they also made it the subsume ability. But here's the thing, is that for the armor strip, it's duration based, kind of weird that it runs out. And yeah, having that have a higher duration or just infinite duration could be nice. Having it target more enemies, scale that on strength, something like that, that could be nice. Or maybe scale that on range, to have the strength be the strip amount and the range be the number of enemies that hit. Something like that. Oh yeah, I've got Invigoration for her. What do you know? The Chaos ability she has, it does its job. That's fine enough. Her fourth ability, it could do with some looking at. I feel that fourth ability is in some ways lacking. I mean, the 4 making you go AFK without the augment sucks. Yeah, the unaugmented 4 is pretty poor. It is pretty poor. If you could keep your weapons, but be static, like with Mesa, and that the augment just allows you that mobility, that would be cool. But the mind control, I think, is one of the biggest missteps on the entire setup for her. Because even with the buff that it's received, that you can fire upon it to buff it without having to use the augment, I believe, even with all the buffs you can try to give to an enemy, at the end of the day, the enemy is using enemy AI, using an enemy's weapon with the enemy's stats. And that just doesn't do a lot. It just doesn't. Now, if instead, mind control altered how the enemy operates against enemies to make it an actual fighting force, gave it some more Tenno-focused AI, anything to make it where mind control gives you a useful ally, not just maybe a buff because you picked up the right Xmas. That could really improve it for me. Oh, fair enough. That is a curious, a niche case. If you try to do a survival without killing an enemy, the kills by the mind-controlled enemy don't count. That is curious. There you are. Oh yeah, Storm Andreas, that is weird, yeah. Psychic Bolts, when you recast it, removes the effect on previously affected enemies. That is a weird one. There is no reason for that to be a thing, yeah. So yeah, Nyx doesn't need a whole lot, but her second ability is a little funky. Her fourth ability is really lacking, quite frankly. And her first ability, which I've got subsumed off on this setup because of the energy feeding into absorb instead, the mind control just shows how lackluster enemy versus enemy damage is. Octavia makes it work. Octavia is able to turn it into an AoE effect and ramp it up and amp it up, and that works. Just about. Yeah, you face really heavily armored enemies and you notice the fall off again. But individual mind control, certainly with the enemy AI as well, it's just not where it's at. It's just not where it's at. Choc saying, I think a second is the only ability to have an extra stat for a specific faction. Oh, you mean the, is that speed decrease for infested, is it? Cast psychic bolts to temporarily disable auras from ancients. Oh! Huh. I actually didn't know that. Yeah. Absorb converts damage received from allies. Yeah. Like, there's so much of a feature that can work here, but it's just... It is a little bit on the low end. There's just enough that doesn't quite connect together. It's like, It feels lame to play. Unfortunately, yeah. So, she doesn't need a rework, but she could do with some buffs. Or rather, some limits removed. Take the shackles off her. Well, the stats of Absorb. Base stat, drain 25, 4 per second. Absorb damage increases by 200 per second. Has an explosion radius of 15 to 50 meters. I guess it's based on the amount of time spent on it. Has a 0.02 conversion percent. And the buff of damage bonus you get after it runs out is a base only 8 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, she is a relic of an older era, isn't she? Yeah. She is in a similar boat to Caliban. Has features that look like they should work, but there are limits or clamps put on them that kind of ruin it. Yeah, a refresh. Buffs, refresh, however you want to go about it, yeah. 0.02% is not that much. I think it's because it's supposed to allow you to work with your allies' damage as well, and that's the thing, is that we deal well more damage than enemies, so it reaches into just kind of stupid territory. It's just weird. It's weird. Yeah. So overall, yeah, Nyx is not in a great spot. She's not useless, but she's not good. She isn't good. You can use her, you can work with her, you can play around her. Her abilities do function as advertised, near enough. It can be better. It can just be better. That's unfortunate for her. But when you consider how many Warframes we got, it's not a surprise that there are some which are behind. Like, there are a lot of Warframes these days. A hell of a lot. If anything, it's surprising how many of them are relevant enough to play. That to me is the more surprising bit. The number of times I've seen games have this many side grades, as it were. Different options to play, and you just start going, yeah. Let's take on Zaku. Zaku's a very good Warframe. Zaku's in an incredible spot overall. Yeah. Derpy Dude saying, buff the ones that need it most, suddenly another one feels underwhelming. I mean, feels underwhelming, sure. But consider where Hydroid was. Hydroid was in a worse spot than Inaros. Genuinely. Now Hydroid is amazing. Inaros hasn't gotten any worse, and his place in the roster hasn't really changed. With the Hydroid rework, that is. It's just that Inaros is still basically lacking abilities. All he is a sack of hit points and easy access to finishers. That's it. That's what he offers. Who liked Hydroid besides memes? I mean, some people did. It just wasn't great. Some people just liked him more for the theme than anything, which, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's always going to be a worst Warframe in the game. That's very right, Derpy. There's always going to be a worst. As soon as Inaros is done, people are going to be looking at Loki. And as soon as Loki's done, they'll pick someone else to go, oh, but what about this one? Which will probably be Caliban. But like, how many frames do we look at and go, oh, they really need some work. They could really do with it. Lavos, great. Wukong, great. Equinox, Equinox could do with a little bit of work. Equinox could do with a little bit of work. Like, she's got a lot of good stuff for her, but she does feel a bit disjointed. So she could perhaps do with a little bit. Ivara, great. Limbo, pretty good. I know some people are like, Xmas units, I have to use skills now, So, quite frankly, get over yourselves. Without Silence or Breach Surge, yeah, he does struggle more, but at the end of the day, Limbo is still overall good. He is just overall good. He has weaknesses. If a Warframe doesn't have any weaknesses, that's called overpowered. Believe it or not. Nuko is saying, thoughts if you could mod Equinox form separately. Honestly, that could be cool. That could be really cool, and it's not the first time that such a thing would exist. Look at Sevagoth. Even in the D&D Warframe project I am working on, I have made Equinox into 2 forms, which he's able to near freely switch between. So yeah, Equinox, if you could mod the 2 forms independently, honestly, I think that would put her into a perfect position. Job done at that point. Job bloody well done. Trinity needs a duration buff. That's it. The durations on her abilities are too low. Buff her durations, job done, move on. Wisp, great. Grendel, great. Revenant, great. Mesa, great. Hildren, great. Loki has his place, but his place is a little too mundane. He's, dare I say it, too defensive. He's not tanky, he's just too evasive, which fits Loki as a theme. It's just that being defensive doesn't win missions. He's got brilliant length on his invisibility, he can make plenty of use of that. The teleport is a thing, quite frankly. He just doesn't achieve much. Aside from these cases of where, yeah, I needed to strip enemies of their weaponry because that was the only option I had then. Is you for spies at high speed? Yeah. So he feels perhaps a little too defensive is all. Volt. If anyone tells you Volt is bad, just don't speak to them again. Move on. Gauss, great. Titania, great. Uredi, great. Remnant we already talked about, but still great. Rhino, great. Volt, again, great. Varuna, great. Octavia, great. Saren, amazing. Ash, good enough. Actually, no, not just good enough. Ash is doing great. Mirage, great. Protea, great. Inaros, rework on coming. Hydroid, great. Necros, good enough. He does plenty. What he does, he does. So he's fine. Nezha, great. Zaku, great. Zephyr, great. Citrine, great. Sevagoth, expensive as hell and not great. I'll be honest, not great. Sevagoth could do with a little bit of a touch-up. Just a little bit. Clevo, amazing. Valkyria, yeah, she's alright. She could do with a little bit of touch-ups here or there, but she's alright. Caliban, could do with some work. Garuda, great. Nova, great. Banshee, honestly, works well enough for me. Yeah. Synax, great. Harrow, great. Mag, great. Nyx, we just discussed, needs some touch-up, needs a refresh. Frost is great. Excalibur exists. Excalibur's fine. He's fine. Ember, great. Wisp we already talked about, but still great. Atlas. Atlas could do with his... How was it? Not Tectonics. His Stone Wall. And his Rumblers. See, Atlas Petrify is good. Atlas Punch is good. But Atlas's Wall and Rumblers... they do need work. They do need work. Absolutely. So yeah, he goes into... needs a refresh. Hell, as a off-the-cuff refresh, give the Rumblers the same exalted power, or pseudo-exalted as his Punch does. Give the Rumblers that same punch power. Job done. Now the Rumblers are scary. Gara is great. Chroma. Chroma. Now this is someone that is in a weird spot. So let's talk about Chroma. Because this kit just does not excite me. His Spectral Scream is bad. It is bad. Do not like. His Elemental Ward has some uses. The problem is, it's boring. You turn on an aura that you do not interact with. It's just kind of there. His Vex Armor is boring. You turn on a aura that is kind of there. And then Effigy is depressingly basic. Like, Chroma turns his pelt into a massive sentry. There have been missions where people have used effigies. I've only noticed because I've heard the sound effect. So you have shit ability, set to forget aura, set to don't forget aura, because if you forget it and it times out, great, you gotta restack that again. And then credits. Burp, aura, credits. That's boring. They made the dragon frame boring. How does someone make the dragon frame boring? And his passive is an extra jump? That's his passive? An extra jump? You get 5 times that from the bloody helmet from time to time. You take care, Haverbright. So yeah, burp, aura that you have to track, and just the saddest pelt. Also, yes, he does look very stupid without his pelt. I'll agree on that as well. Looking at Chroma whilst Effigy is active kind of hurts inside. It's just... It's like seeing, say, The Rock or Jason Momoa, but for some reason their arms are as thick as mine. You just look at them and it's like, that's wrong. That is wrong. Where is all the bulk guard? Where is all the strength, the raw power? Why is this weedy little thing walking around now? Please, no, bring back the power. What is that? No. Where is the beef? Yeah. This man is all padding. And that's sad. That's exactly what I was thinking of, the belly. Yeah, that is exactly what I was thinking of. So yeah. There are a number of frames. The more I look at it, there are a number of frames that could do with a touch-up. Oberon could do with a refresh. Honestly, even Brooke, I know Brooke is powerful and all that, but honestly, Brooke could do with a little bit of a refresh to make him less annoying to play. Personal take on that one. Like, if I need a hot take, a Warframe that could do with a refresh, Brooke is my hot take one. Skip past all the ones where we can agree, Brooke is my hot take one. So yeah. He's... A lot of people enjoy him, and I find him annoying to play. But that's fine. If I don't enjoy every part of Warframe, whatever, that's normal. He's not a bad frame at all, which is why it's a hot take choice. He is not a bad frame, but he is an annoying frame to play for me. I do not gel with his playstyle whatsoever. He dropped his duration to like 13%. You think I didn't? Still annoying to play. Still annoying to play. So yeah, not for me. Just like a lot of people don't like playing levels. Fair enough then. Rook's Micromanaging Simulator? That's probably Harrow, but sure. Sure. Alright then. So yeah, there are some frames that could really do with being looked at. Equinox, just being able to mod both forms, off we pop. Trinity, give some duration too, off we pop. Loki, just do away with the decoy, just big on with it. Switch teleport, give it a hold cast to pop to a spot or something. To give him the ability to crack into vault still. I don't know, figure something around that. Replace the decoy with something more offensive. Give him something that makes him not so defensive and unhelpfully defensive. Great. NRS, whole rework coming. Wait and see. Let's see here. Sevagoth. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure on that one. I'm not entirely sure on that one. It feels like he needs something, but I'm not sure what that something is. Caliban. Probably stat enhancement or forced synergy. Maybe both. Maybe both. Valkyria. Okay, yeah, Valkyria could do with a little bit more on her abilities. She could do with a bit of a refresh as well. Yeah. Yeah, I agree there. We've been over Nyx. Nyx needs a refresh. Her abilities need the clamps taken off it. Yeah. Abilities need the clamps taken off it. I saw a couple of people mention Excalibur, the iframes on Slash Dash need to be proper iframes. Yeah, I can get behind that. Atlas's Rumblers, just give... If we're going to do something simple, give them the pseudo-exalted power of his fists, so they can actually get something done. The Stonewall, do you need to figure something out with that? Chroma, stop making Dragon boring, plus. Thanks. Pretty much. I mean, what do you do with this guy? Take away the required combos and just make them part of it. Healing needs to be more interactive? Maybe? Hard to say on that, honestly. Hard to say. Although, needs an energy cap on it. Yes, Malasutos, I agree on that. But the forced synergy is a crime on him, quite frankly. The forced synergy is an absolute crime. He needs a refresh. He needs a Nyx tier refresh, quite frankly. He needs a Nyx tier refresh. Straight up. Again, my hot take one, just make him less annoying. Please, thanks. Cool. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, that's not a huge list. When you think about it, that's not a huge list of things I look at that need an absolute approach to it. Teeny tiny Brook thing. Oberon needs a refresh. Chroma needs a refresh. Nyx needs a refresh. Atlas could do with a look at. Not a full refresh, but could do with a look at. Caliban, I'm probably more in the refresh. Valkyrie needs an extra ability to what it has. Because it's effectively missing an ability. NRS is incoming. And the last one was, yeah, Loki. So Trinity needs a more duration. Equinox, a second modding. And Loki, not be so defensive. There you are. That's all of the negatives. That's it. one rework, a few extra abilities, a few refreshes, and a second modding. Boom. There we are. What about Ninus? Ninus is in a great spot. Ninus does his job perfectly fine. You need a health tank grouping stomping damage slapper that just doesn't die. Yeah, he's got you good. Ninus is fine. Throat's a bit dry at the moment, even with the drinking water. Have some more. Alright, I've kind of chatted around the situation of various Warframes now for a bit of a hot minute, so I think it's about time that we say ! ticket in the chat if you've not already done so. I'll be drawing the winner of that Platinum giveaway in just a moment, chat. I feel like Oberon's 1 needs to become a totally different ability. Oberon's 1 doesn't need a rework. Oberon's 1 is in a good enough spot, honestly. I've used it on Limbo, for example, to just take down Kelly's Tame without any risk whatsoever because I was in the Rift. It has enough places as a first ability, plus it's got Smite and Fusion. I think Oberon's 1 is okay. I do think it's okay. But the rest of Oberon's kit just has so many holes in it. Partly due to the forced synergies. Oh, you must do this and that to get hit this basic effect. You're like, come on now. That's an old school problem. That's old school design right there. So, there are some old school frames that need a refresh to match newer school designs. Pretty much that. Smiting Care to help from the Rift sounds hilarious. Honestly, it's great. It works more effectively off Steel Path than on, but the reason it works is because, firstly, she has alloy armor. Second, Smite uses the hit points of the target it comes from to decide the amount of damage the orbs do. And then the orbs home in on random targets. There is only Kayla to tame in her arena. So the orbs just kind of go out, look around, and just come back in again. Bap! With enough strength, it'll just one-tap the stage. Stupid. Saren needs a rework? Oh, but... Look, FGC, I know there's a lot of really horny players out there. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. The Syandana stays on. No timeout needed, Sil. No. Come on, you can see it's their first message. With how much the Warframe community in general deserves a bonk, especially how even some of the devs, Reb, come out with stuff, like, it's to be expected from people, unfortunately. It's what's advertised a lot of the time, but we just don't do that here. We just don't do that here. Especially the devs. Especially the devs. Anyway, right, that aside, I think it's about time we do the draw. Let's see now. So, there are 96 people in it. I'm going to close the entries now, so if you wanted one, tough, you've had plenty of opportunity to do so. There can only be one winner, though. Today, that winner is Freezing Worm. Freezing Worm, congratulations on winning the Platinum giveaway. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of the stream to get hold of your Warframe username, platform, and cross-save status to make sure we can get that sent on over to you there, absolutely. Congratulations, Freezing Worm. And everyone else here in the chat, thank you very much for joining in today. Honestly, I was surprised that I managed to get the Acceltra and Akarius bits so quickly. That was ridiculous, just how fast that was. What do I think about Frost? Oh, Frost is perfectly fine. Frost is absolutely fine. His weakness is his own personal defense whilst mobile, moving between locations. That's his weakness. The rest of his kit is strength. He's fine. He's just fine. Alright then, so, we're going to be raiding on over now to another part of the Warframe community. Oh yes indeed. Let's see, who can we raid to today? Something tells me we are not going to be raiding over to No Sympathy because they raided us. Makes sense. So let's see, who's live? Who can we head on over to in the Warframe category? Let's see, there is Dinos. I feel like we've been to Dinos pretty recently. Or was it they were in here recently? It could be a bit of both. But we could go Dinos. Perk always ends now, so we don't go to Perk. It took us a while, but we finally figured it out not to raid each other. That doesn't work. So, yeah. We'll go Dinos. We raided recently? Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it was 11 days ago. You know what? Nah, I ain't got a problem with that. We're going Dinos. We're going Dinos. Heads up to those of you who have not been to Dinos before. Dinos doesn't run the same kind of stream I do. Yep, that's all the warning you're getting. That'll do. Right, we're ready over to Dinos. Have yourself a wonderful one. I'll be live again on Wednesday with more Warframe. In the meantime, have a good start to your week. And be on your absolute best behavior. Bye-bye, y'all.